Oh shit! The man's video. That was tight though.
Space where the thoughts are just as
Anything.
Welcome to Same is Different Day, a space where everything is on the table and the thoughts are just as frenetic as your Twitter feed. And just like your feed, we kick it off with some talks on some bullshit of the day, and eventually bring you some value with well-cited research on stories you may have missed.
Yeah, this show is the long-term format of Marching into Madness, a duo of journalists that are developing a content project about their passions. So, get ready for that.
Yeah.
Some weeks our strange wine mom drops by to keep us in line, but she's been missing for a little bit, so we don't know what's going on with that.
But
The line, please. But she recently went out for milk and a pack of bogeys, but at least that's what she told us, so we assume she's gonna be back anytime now.
oh, and socials we're on all of them. TikTok, IG, YouTube, and Twitch, where we live stream these podcasts on a weekly basis. If you tune in, you can ride out with us afterwards.
Speaking of which, the future variant of this idiot will introduce us in 3, 2, 1, and then you just bring up the. And I said, fine. I'll
All right, mics are on.
No, that's not what that says.
Oh, and my scales are still off. What? Why is the wine mom the only okay one?
A bunch of like.
Because the people love me.
I know.
Only Dan's here. Damn. You know what? I'll drop my Twitter in chat.
My ear is itchy.
Bummer. Okay, come on. I hate doing this part. Entertain the internets. Help me out.
You guys here earlier, but nobody listens.
That's fair. That's a fair critique right now.
That was a nice.
Right now.
That was a nice tone there, Bailey.
Right?
I'm trying to be the next Chad Kruger. You feel me?
And your hero.
Where is the Twitter, Raza?
I'm getting it. I'm just trying to cancel the.
Setting me.
How come the server isn't showing? Man, seen. I retweet a lot of corn, so.
Do you really?
No, he doesn't. There's no way. That's not halal.
I mean, I literally just did. That's why I said
Oh.
Raza not to look at what I post.
Okay, good to know. The censorship right there.
But mine is art. It's different.
It's
Also,
corn?
if our marks are live, wow.
Mercs.
If our mics are live, like, don't say those words, no?
He said corn.
He said corn.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Well, golly gee.
I'm pretty sure I just said the other word.
Stop outing yourself.
I know.
I literally don't care.
Baiting yourself out to the robots who already dominate our society, and I already fixed it. I'm a magician. Don't worry.
Just like, did you hear what I just said, guys?
Follow me back, Raza.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
And I'll do it again. Listen, I saw this TikTok. Okay, so you guys know how I have my little heart tattoo on my face, right? So I saw this TikTok where this guy was like, "Oh, I'll tell you what your tattoo like tell me about you," right?
Okay.
The first one is your little heart tattoo on your face is you just waste money and you just are like irresponsible. I was like, how fucking dare you? How dare you? So I commented. Listen, I commented on it, and I was like, and I'd do it again. I would do it again. That.
I don't know. This guy sounds like the pickup artist type. You know what I mean?
No, it's just some
I have
guy
a question
just being
for
stupid.
you,
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah.
That thing you just retweeted.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable for
It's what?
her. Uncomfortable for her.
That's uncomfortable.
Down.
Oh, I get her. Yeah, but like she's a vampire bat, so it's okay.
Yeah, but
they like to be upside down.
That's true, but like she isn't really holding on to anything.
Nah, she good. She got special grippy feet.
Yeah. lots of gymnastics, lots of
Yeah, Bailey has
practice.
no idea what's going on, feeling very left out. I'll share it with you, Bailey. 1 second.
That's okay. I don't need to see your farming
careful.
materials. I'm
No,
very
that's not what it is, you idiot. What's wrong with you?
I respect how you apply your plows and how you like to get down
Bro,
with the
if
hose
you
in the
think
field. All
if
right.
you think I use that for inspiration, you confused. Anyways, I sent it
Why
in
am
the
I
chat.
out here doing handstands, bro?
Oh my God. If I could, I would. But I can't, so I shan't.
That's
I
funny.
can do a cartwheel. Do you want me to? Do you want to see me do a cartweel?
Yeah, look what I can do.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want me to dance like a monkey for subscriptions? Is
We'll
Do
do a
it.
cartwheel.
he gonna do it? No, he's not.
I'll do it. Oh, 1 second.
You're gonna do it?
He's not.
Wait, okay, wait. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Don't hurt yourself, please.
That was
What?
not.
That was beautiful. Don't talk to me,
Jeez. All right.
That was not a cartwheel. I didn't have any space to expand my legs,
That's
Yeah.
okay.
It's all
I
about
still clap.
extension.
and now I'm seeing stars.
Now see it stars.
I bet you he hasn't been upside down in months, bro. In months.
Bro. Can't relate.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Also,
I'm
Raza's hair
literally-
is getting so long now.
Yeah, you need to get a haircut.
No.
soon. Oof.
No.
It's trendy. It's trendy, bro.
There has
Get
to
in
be
here,
one
microphone.
person in this dichotomy of friends that has short hair. We all can't have long hair.
Well, nobody knows what I look like. Knows what kind of hair I have.
Yeah.
You have
Well-
you could be, but you're not.
But I might be.
But you're not.
But I might be. And I could be. So.
She ain't bald. That does not sound like a bald person.
What if she's had a hair transplant? What if she's she's embarrassed
But
of
not
her
bald.
plugs?
Not bald.
That's
What if
so
she's-
sad.
What if you had the Costanza hair? That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see Wine Mom with Costanza hair.
I
You
can
guys are
edit
so
that.
dumb. No, you no.
I
I'll have to
don't
murder.
know. I think it's a whole niche. I think you could start like,
Use
your
Kramer.
own.
Kramer hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Kramer
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's get to business. What's up, internets? Welcome to Same-ish Different Day, the podcast with a name we were smart to stop saying. This week, we wanted to talk about everything and nothing. We wanted to actually talk about debating about the creative conflictions between like creator and creation and how you keep yourself motivated. Also, we got a touch of news for you today. I wanted to talk about how Dilbert dabbles too much. And Raza's going to give you some Aiden Ross updates. If any of you on the podcast know who that is, so we're going to try to inform you of that. And a few extras. We also, someone came back from Milk, Raza. Who came back from Milk?
It's our resident mother, Anne.
Say hi, Mom. You don't love us? What's happening?
I didn't know that I was being introduced. And who that? And I obviously I failed, boys, because who says milk instead of milk?
It's
Bailey.
it's
Milk,
Milk, bro.
No, it's milk, not
Milk.
milk. There's no e in milk. You lined that one up. That was too easy. That
I
was-
grew-
She thought about that one.
This is the same energy when somebody says it's not aunt, it's aunt. I'm like,
Yeah, potato batata.
Excuse
No.
me.
don't enable this. Don't. He needs to learn how to speak
It's
better.
milk, Bailey.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's gonna be next thing you know,
Yes.
he's gonna be sitting here going ambulance. For Christ.
Oh, wouldn't you give me a glass of milk, please? That's what I feel like when I'm
Exactly.
saying it.
Okay, see, you sound more of a normal human human being.
Yeah, it sounds like you
Milk?
actually took an English class
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
Milk.
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 Really, there's
E in
no
milk.
E in milk.
Where's the E in this? Stop making up shit. You.
Why are you
That's the
making
MI.
that
Me. Milk. Milk.
Me.
No, you're saying milk. Like M, like A,
Milk.
like
Yeah,
Like
milk.
milk.
Yeah, it's milk.
Milk. And then
an
A in
MI
there
does
now.
not make an A sound. Bitch.
Uh, yeah, I think
I'm
like
gonna break
might.
my keyboard.
It's like
That's not an A sound.
That's an I.
mirror. Damn it.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
just
be
say words properly, dude.
How are you
Okay.
the smartest one in the room, but
The
Man,
dumbest one in
that
in
was the
room, too.
dumbest thing you've ever said.
It's
How do you have
called.
both legs in both
Hey,
hands?
hey,
I have
Raza.
obviously failed.
We're the pot calling the kettle black here. We're both the ones with speech impediments critiquing each other.
If you say words properly.
Yours is a
Yeah.
choice, babe.
Mine's a choice.
We love
Okay.
Bailey here. This is just greasing his ball sack.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Okay. So speaking of that, we wanted to talk about keeping it fresh, right? So Wine Mom may have interesting takes on this, and I'm interested for the motherly advice. But we wanted to talk about what are things that you do on a personal level that inspire you to create content or whatever form of art it is that you do, i.e., social media, blogs, sharing them photos, sharing your rippity raps. On top of that, how do you stay consistently inspired so it doesn't burn you out? Wine Mom, we are asking this because keeping things fresh and innovative can be a full-time job. So how does one balance themselves?
You're asking me this?
No, he's asking the other
I mean,
mom.
I'm the No, but I'm like the burnout queen.
Yeah, so then talk about your real experience. That's where I was also fucking with you. You know it's not about life advice here. Do your thing. What's your relationship with that?
Well, my relationship with content creation is just pure chaos because it's either I am making an absurd amount of content of all different degrees, or I'm severely isolated and I do nothing but have anxiety.
That's very real for
don't
people,
know.
though. That's like a lot of people operate that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've been gone for so long from this. I think if you're asking me what I do to keep myself creative or to like spark creativity, go outside. Like
That's
legit. I know that sounds like so cliche and stupid because that's like what everybody says. But I would suggest work on your codependency because I know for a fact there's a person or a thing or a habit that you're codependent on. So work on that and go outside. Like literally, it's gonna sound so stupid. Take your cell phone. I don't care if you're the world's shittiest cell phone. Take your cell phone with your cell phone camera. Go outside and literally just like take pictures of stuff. Because I'll say in this last year, I have spent a lot of time learning how to use my phone better and taking just really good pictures and videos out in nature and like adding songs to them and like just being a total like loser with my content, and like it's been nice to just like take nice photos of things and post them even though nobody cares, but I care. It just gives me like motivation and helps me feel creative again.
You
That's
create
what I'm
it.
saying.
You got to create art for art's sake, you know?
Well, it's like, I don't know if I've ever said this before, podcast, but I heard this once in a TikTok actually, where people were talking about in our lives, there's always like a time where we're like, I have a goal of being this way or being this person. So it's like, for instance, let's say you're like, I want to get up every day at 6 a.m. and go to the gym. I don't know why you'd want to do that. If you want to be a psycho like Bailey, then go for it. But like, let's say that's your goal. Okay. You're like, I want to get up every day at 6 a.m. to go to the gym. Are you going to start tomorrow and get up every single day at 6 a.m. and go to the gym? Probably not. But if you go 2 or 3 times out of that week, that's amazing. And it's like people need to realize that you're practicing to become the person you want to be. Does that make sense? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you want to be a 6 a.m. person, then you do that 3 or 4 times a week so that your body can start to adjust because you're practicing and creating a new routine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be perfect at doing that right away. And that's
Yeah.
why, like, for me, you know, in the summertime more so, I'm up at 6 a.m. and I'm at the beach at 6 a.m. and I'm there for 3 hours. But that's not always possible when the weather is not great. But it's like, find other things that you can practice and do. Also,
Yeah.
journaling. Also, journaling. Like, seriously, journaling. Like, literally, just like writing the world's most random shit. Like, just journal. It's crazy how much that helps you feel better and motivated.
Well, that's like so. That's I agree with a lot of those concurrent themes, right? You need to make sure that you're creating for yourself either way, right? If you're driven to a creative field. Oh my God, my mic came out of its stand. If you're driven to a creative field, part of the things that you can get stuck in, whether you're doing it professionally or as just something that you want to be a part-time hustle. You could be a blog writer, whatever it is like you need to make sure that just like you're exercising your body to be an athlete, that you're engaging with that side of yourself in a comfortable state where you don't have to do it under pressure. And that's something that a lot of people will neglect.
Yeah. I mean, this is a thing because like I talk to a lot of people about because I've had a lot of I've had a lot of things that I've started and stopped and things that I've failed at and all different kinds of things in my life. And people are always like, I don't know how to like start something and what if I fail or what if it's this or what if it's that? It's like, but what if it's not though? Like that's the thing is like what if it's not? Like when I started that true crime podcast however many years ago, I was like, this is going to be stupid, but it's going to be me and my friend and we're going to have a good time just talking about stuff we like to talk about and like who knows what's going to happen. And then it became something like actually something pretty great. I mean, it's not around right now, but it was crazy. Like I didn't think it would get successful and it did. And it's just like I don't know if it's that it's our generation per se. Like I don't want to say that it is because as far as I'm concerned, we are the best gen, but maybe there's something in our generation that's just so realistic that we're so pessimistic that we miss out on so many opportunities that could be successful because we're like we're probably going to fail, but what if we fail? It's likely we'll fail.
I don't
And
know.
was
So
I have a question for you. So sorry,
yeah, get in.
Taylor. I have a
Mm.
question for you, my mom. So when your podcast was starting to take off, did you feel like um it was more of a necessity rather than a need, or like you had to do it less than you wanted to to do it?
I think what happened is the pressure
Right.
because we had an episode that in our opinion was like absolutely absurd that we got to that point. And it's like so for the just for context sake, we got to interview a victim of a crime who lived locally in Toronto, wouldn't talk to anybody, wasn't interested in talking to anybody, but asked specifically to be interviewed by us, which was crazy for us because we're just like our podcast was so small at the time.
Mm.
Um, but I guess because of me being in Toronto, it picked up a little bit of traffic that way. But it almost like put so much pressure on us that we were like, how do we get like where do we go from here? Like how does it get better than this? And then, you know, life started to get in the way of things. So it's like I wouldn't say it became like a job for us, because it definitely didn't feel that way, and we still talk about how much we miss doing it and wish we could keep doing it. But it's just that the pressure just got to us, I think. And that's another thing too, like with the podcast, right? Because obviously it's not a secret that I've been gone, right? And I think it's like I get imposter syndrome in a way, which I'm sure we've talked about this before, and this is going to be a topic that comes up again at some point during this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like as soon as people started liking me, because the thing is, like, I don't view myself, oh, I don't know how to explain this. I don't view myself as a third. I view myself as I don't want to say prop because it's not that, but it's like I'm here for you guys to, that's kind of like, because I didn't start it, right? So for me, I just feel like, oh, I'm kind of just like here sometimes. You guys are the core. It's your guys' podcast, right? But it started to not become that, and I started to get a little bit of imposter syndrome, and I was like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't feel like I add that much value. I should probably back off for a while, like let them do their thing. And that's almost like what stunted me from being here, because I was like, I want them to grow, because I felt like I wasn't giving you guys the space to grow on your own. So I was like, I gotta back up and like
Right.
let them do their thing, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're like. You couldn't like you already have this personality, but you wanted us to breathe. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that does make. Sorry, Bailey. You had something.
No, I was just gonna keep building nonsensically. I was just gonna say I don't know, because I don't know if it's generation based. I think it's just. I was gonna talk about this after in our more loosey goosey sessions, but it's like the apathy of the information age. Like I think a lot of people are feeling that way because like, bro, every day we're watching some. Roz is gonna talk about Aiden Ross, some 17-year-old that got famous off of liking LeBron James. Off of that was what he got famous off of being a basketball fan video, and all of a sudden this kid is now gone to the dark side and influencing impressionable young youth, and we're sitting here like, bro, just give us 10 viewers, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I think that apathy that a lot of creators, and I think it happens in all fields, because you could be a cosplayer and then you go on Twitter and look at how many other retweets that the other models are getting versus your 10, you know? It's you're immediately reminded of how low on the goddamn totem pole you are.
See, I feel like it, in a weird way, maybe I'm just a jerk in this sense. But I don't feel that way when I see somebody like Aiden Ross being successful, regardless
Yeah.
of what his content is. I really don't give a shit what his content is. But it's like, to see him successful, that doesn't make me feel like I couldn't be successful. Truth be known,
True.
I feel sorry for like him. And I say that because when you start so young and you get such a large amount of popularity, your career can be shortened so easily by mistakes, especially when you're so young and you make big mistakes, right? And he's somebody that I believe just made some big mistakes. So
I
it's
agree.
like, yeah, so it's like, cool. I'm so glad that you found success as a person, and I really hope that you're going to grow and adapt to your success. But it's also like, I'm more scared for that person than
Yeah.
I would be jealous of that person,
Sort of
or
like,
feel like that would cause me to not be successful.
yeah, sort of like pull it back and focus on like the creative, like what keeps you consistently inspired and ready to go, right? Like that's a big deal right there, like that self-confidence to look at that. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do. I do kind of agree with you, but then how do you identify your independence from that? How do you
How do I separate myself from
why
that?
like why do you feel that you can just not care about it?
I think it has to do with the type of creators that I've watched over the years. Because let me use, okay, I know you guys are gonna make fun of me for this, but let me use Markiplier as an example. Okay? He has been doing this for an extreme time. He's been doing it since he was young into his older age. I think Mark has finally gotten to a place with his content where everything is perfect. Like it's perfect. His content is perfect. And I truly believe that that comes with age and that comes with learning and maturity, and I don't think that this kid has that. And
But
okay, go ahead. What's your question?
like, I'm trying to separate it from like necessarily a talk of like. I'm trying to look at us. I'm trying to have
Yeah.
like an introspective talk.
Okay, so I think that we collectively are at places in our lives where we've had real life experiences. Like real, like we've all worked jobs, we've all been fired, we've all been homeless to some degree, we've had to go back to our mommies and daddies, and like we've had experiences in our lives that have caused us to fail tremendously. I mean, in my personal opinion, I've had experience that caused me to fail tremendously. When I thought, as I look back at my life at 20 years old, I was like, yeah, man, I'm successful for a 20-year-old. And I look at myself now and I'm like, I'm not as successful as I was at 20. And like I've had that experience, that I'm mature enough now that whatever comes of this, I'm going to be grateful for. Whereas
Yeah,
somebody
like
like that who's like, I've been successful from the jump, I can only accept success. It's like you're setting yourself up for failure.
yeah, these characters don't really know that like it's almost like a rich kid, right? Where
Yeah.
they don't have the same uh views of the world as the rest of us do. So like their expectations are different. So if they there's a person like Aiden Ross, he thinks he can do all these things because of who he is. He thinks he has this immunity, but like in reality, it's the world that he lives in that is limiting his his behavior. So like and it's also like the people you surround yourself with, your experiences and whatnot. Like yeah, like what you're saying, going on like uh, when you were 20, you were going this way, but then now you're going a different way. These characters are don't look at it that way because they haven't had the hardships that you've had. So they've always sort of like stayed true to, and they can stay true, but that's like a double-edged sword because what happens when things go south? They don't know how to adapt to that
Exactly.
situation, whereas we know through our experiences, through our parents' experiences, and whatnot. So it's I think it's like we have the benefit of just knowing how
Yes.
to deal with these things rather
Well,
than
because
these Twitchers.
right, because here's the big thing that somebody like him hasn't experienced yet and probably doesn't think he will and probably doesn't understand is that every single person who is near the age of 30 has been extremely successful at some point in their life where they're like, yeah, man, I got this. And then they plummeted into the depths of hell randomly. And
Yeah.
you're confused and you're scared and you're like, I'm an adult. How am I a failure? But I'm an adult. You like adults are supposed to be successful. And if you don't have that like catastrophic moment in your life, Bailey's getting crazy over there. But if you don't
No, it
have that
just
catastrophic moment in your life,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because I don't think he understands it's coming. He's going to have catastrophic failure. It's inevitable in every
Yeah. Yeah.
life. Like
yeah.
it's going to happen and he's not prepared for it because he hasn't even had minor like real life experience of not being rich from sitting in front of his computer.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you
I
gonna
was
say,
just
Bailey?
like,
I know you're
because
freaking out.
no, it was just like you're so right. Like I was just thinking, because at first I was thinking modern people. I was looking at like Kai Sennett. I was thinking about like Speed and all that. But then I started like going through the Rolodex, and it's like, yeah, you go all the way back to like a Shane Dawson. It's the same thing. This person grows up in this environment, has a severe lack of life experience, immerses themselves in the like monetary aspects of the creativeness, and then their literal soul is lost before they're able to like be able to deal with any of the serious situations in a self-reflective manner.
Right. Because think of it this way, because I I look back, I use my mom for reference a lot because to me, she's the most successful self-made person I know right now. And she when she was at a point in her life where she was like, I've got it all figured out. And I was born, my sister was born, my mom was almost 30 and she was like, I'm successful, I have a job, I have my two girls, like things are moving in the right direction, I have my home, everything's great. And then she had a huge catastrophic, sorry, downfall. And it was
Yeah.
like out of nowhere, and she was like as low as she could be, and I remember like struggling and freaking out all the time, crazy emotions and just like displacement in life for me and my sister. Like it was a failure moment. And I remember thinking like she's a mom with two kids and
Yeah.
she's having a moment of failure, and then years later my mom is disgustingly successful. Like
Yeah.
she is disgustingly successful. Like
It's
I
almost
look at her,
gross.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Ew.
but seriously, like I look at her now and I'm like, what the fuck, mom? Because I
Mhm.
remember what we went through. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and like she's she's good. It's
Yeah.
like, but unless you witness that or experience that in your life, you're not gonna get it. Because I'm sure the both of you can sit here right now and tell me, not even just the pandemic alone, okay? Because that was catastrophic for a lot of us. But just think about a situation in your life where, like, maybe you were going to college and you're like, I'm going to college.
Yeah.
I've got to prove for this job that I want. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to start making bank.
Okay.
And then, like, 6 months later, you're like, I'm back at home. I'm working this shitty part time job. I hate everything. I have no friends. I broke up with my girlfriend. Like, I'm sure you could see those moments in your life that were more important than sitting in front of your computer and being a billionaire. You know what I mean?
So the twist on it, right? To
Mm.
reflect it back, because I'm totally with you. I'm just keeping
Cool.
convo rolling. Um, what if, say, someone's listening to this
Yeah.
and they feel that maybe they belong in that category? What if they didn't have that tough a time? They grew up in a suburb. Mommy and daddy
Mhm.
did okay, right? How
So
would
they
you
haven't had
advise
their
them?
failure?
Then they wouldn't be
Yeah.
listening to us because we,
You think
you
we
know,
wouldn't appeal to them in any capacity?
yeah, because we don't like. I feel like if you are a, in that sort of like lifestyle, you're gonna be associating with things and people that have also brought because ultimately we want to be relatable. And if a kid is brought up in the suburbs, we're not gonna be relatable to that kid. We're gonna be relatable to a
Well,
dude.
here's where I'll disagree with you. I'll disagree with you. I think Bailey has a point. I get your point, Raza. I agree with you. I see what you're saying because we wouldn't appeal to that demographic if that's not something they've experienced. Correct. That's what demographics and, trends are. You're correct.
Yeah.
However, from personal experience, I know, I have family that grew up not with no struggle at all. Kids,
Right.
they've never witnessed failure before.
Mhm.
And they are so much more interested in our life failure because they have no idea about it.
Okay.
They don't get it. They've never experienced it. They've never seen it. So, they're looking at us like, "Oh, what do you mean you lived through that? That's crazy." And it's like, "Yeah, no, that was just how we survived. Like that was just life." Like, and they don't have that same experience. And
Mhm.
so they
Mhm.
are curious and they are looking in. And so
Yeah. Okay.
to answer Bailey's question, right? If there's somebody out there who has lived a privileged life and hasn't had failure, and I don't know, maybe they are 35 and they haven't experienced a catastrophic moment in their life. Just just be prepared that should that moment ever happen, it's not the end, right? And as it's so easy when you're in that moment to be like, man, everything sucks. This is the worst. I give up. Because like, don't get me wrong, I am that person. Like I do live like I wallow in my shit because I get stuck in it and like I get it. But the reality is like you're gonna get past it. Like there's
Yeah.
gonna be a moment of success that's going to come. You just kind of have to just you have to feel the shit you're going, and you have to kind of be like, okay, fuck, like this sucks, but I just got to get through this and like look for your next opportunity because
So
things get better. They will. It sounds so cliche to say, but like it will. Something will find you.
like I'm totally with you again. It's just something I've been like trying to wrap my head around in an endless circle. It's been like one of my biggest problems for several years in my weird brain always thinking about things though. Cuz
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. And that's the biggest thing is trying to reinforce that even like I'm comfortable being straight up and calling it failure, but you can look at it as just something that didn't work. You know what I mean? You don't have to use such that you don't have to use such harsh wording all the time in case you're the type of person who can't handle it. But the biggest question I've been asking myself is how do you artificially teach that to someone though? Because what if, let's say, there's someone who went through life, they had everything they ever needed, they had a good little sister, they had a good sibling, they went to a good college, but they grew up in a diverse environment. They know a bunch of nice people. They know that their homies went through X, Y, and Z. They understand how the world works, but they were still spoon fed all the way up till when they were 40, and now they have $2 million, and they want to try to understand where to give it. But how would you teach that person all of those lessons, right? There's like someone can get a free pass through life to the point that they would never ever have to experience that failure. How do you teach them that lesson? Where would you even fucking start? It's been like a big
Well,
question that's blown my mind.
right. To what I would say to that is failure knows. So you might be lucky that you've made it that far, but life experience is what it is. Maybe it'll come to that person in a different context than something that we would experience as failure, right? Their failure could be that they put $100 in a stock and they lost their $100, and that could be a catastrophic failure to them,
That's right. No,
right?
you're right. I'm being
So,
biased you're
well,
right. You're
you're
right.
not being biased, but I see your point, though, right? But what
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
is, failure will find you. You can have as much of a life as you like, but failure will find you. I mean, look at Elon, for instance, right? He was
Yeah.
doing so great, and he's like how old now, and everybody thinks he's a joke. So, failure will find you when it's ready to find you. It doesn't matter how he's still very successful, lots of money, but he's still going through failure. It's going to happen. But if you are somebody who doesn't have that experience and you're looking to understand that experience, or you want to learn how to, I don't know, Bailey, what you want them to know where they can financially give back, emotionally give back, like,
Yeah, because like, I don't know. I'm being hopeful in the scenario that it's like, oh, someone gets to that point, but they're open minded enough to be like, oh, but I don't know shit about life. I would like to,
volunteer.
you know,
That's my answer.
exactly.
That's my answer.
That's kind of what it comes down to
Legitimately,
for me,
it's
too.
it's crazy to say. It's crazy to say because people are like, "What? Volunteer at a homeless shelter?" Yeah, volunteer at a homeless shelter. Challenge your bracket of thinking,
Oh,
right?
there you go.
Look
Yeah.
at like go literally find the most opposite of yourself, right? Because like I think about my dad when you bring that up, right? He's had tons of fucking failure. Like that's a whole nother story, right? He's tons of failure, tons of success all over the market. But that man still will go and volunteer at a homeless shelter because he says it keeps him humble, reminds him what's good, reminds where he could have been if he didn't get successful later. Like humble yourself. It's your responsibility to be aware of what goes on in the world. Like you can't you if you want to live a sheltered life, by all means, you're welcome to it, but you're doing yourself a disservice because then you're not learning. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because like even with all that money, yeah, sure, people like you have all of that money, you can do whatever you want, but those experiences that you get kind of mean more, because you sort of like limit yourself if you're just brought up in this way of thinking that like
Mhm.
if something happens, if it all ends, you won't know how to recover. So you're just limited in a certain way of doing
Yeah.
things, which is just going up and up and up and up and up. That's the only thing you know, and like the money and everything else is like secondary at that point
Yeah.
because you don't know about those experiences.
I
Those
mean,
experiences hold more at the end of the day.
exactly. Like at the end of the day, if you want to continue sheltered life, I really don't give a fuck. That's your life. You're the one who's missing out
No,
on a lot of life experiences. Go ahead. But if you are somebody who cares and like wants to understand, and because there are people out there who do, literally just find the opposite of yourself. If you don't understand failure, whatever you think is failure, go there. Go.
yeah,
Experience it. Ask questions,
Yeah.
meet people, put yourself in those positions.
that's
Because
I
you'll get it.
I totally feel you, and I think that does very much apply to like the creative process. And then that's my cheesy shit. I've been really very much so on my Wu Tang shit because I've been watching that show and listening to so much music, and I just keep thinking about like it applies here of like knowledge of self is most important first and foremost, man. You gotta apply the knowledge of self before anything else, and part of that is pushing yourself to new experiences and recognizing where your prejudices may lie and where your shortcomings are, and actively seeking to change them,
Right. And well,
you
and
know.
also surrounding yourself with the right people. Like,
Hmm.
not to expose anything, but Bailey is the first person to call himself a failure with success right in front of his face. Because the man does you may fail, Bailey, but you don't fail. Like, you feel the failure because it's what you see, and I respect it. But at the end of the day, like, because I literally just said this to my mom the other day, because she asked me like, "Oh, what's Bailey doing for work now?" And I said, "Oh, well, he's doing these things and he's whatever." And she was like, "Oh, like that's good or whatever." And then she was like, "Is he doing okay? Like, how's he feeling?" I was like, but I said to her, I was like, I don't even entertain him when he's like, I'm worried about this. I can't entertain it because it's not like I don't see you failing. Like, I see you faltering, but I don't see you failing because I've seen your success, right? So it's like
Yeah.
surrounding yourself with people who can say to you, okay, you have your moment of sad, because you've heard me say this to you before. You can have your moment of sad. I'm like, but I literally am not even concerned because I know that you're gonna figure it out because you have and you will. So I don't get worried. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
you need people in your life who give you that confidence of like, okay, I can falter, but like they believe that I can be successful, so like I should believe that I can be successful. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that's incredibly important. You gotta surround yourself with people that you're willing to build with. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do my one quick. I don't need too many minutes, but that's all go on my rant. Of that's the biggest recommendation I can give for providing like creative security of like my hustle. And as I finally was able to fucking no more swearing, I was finally able to calm down this year. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
were to advise one goal to people with a creative vision, is to set up a way that you can work to the point that you're always going to have a job opportunity. So whether that's you're a visual artist, try to figure out how you can set up your skills in a way that you're just always going to be able to get contracts when you need them. That was like working to that point was what really created a sense of ease in the hustle because I didn't feel panic that it's literally all gonna go away. Like right now, yeah, I could falter, I could lose the studio, it might not financially work, but I still have all the equipment, I now have all the skills, I can totally shift up my entire process without having to question if my entire creativity will fall out from underneath me because of it. So that would be my little tip, my little advice is to like plan a path that provides you security in what you love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's like you. Yeah, I guess it's different for everybody because it's just like I don't. To me, it's like I like having a thing already created and then I'm part of it. I like because it gives me the security that like I don't have to sort of rely on because I don't have the same hustle skills as you do. If I did, I would. And me talking about me, I have a stroke every day because Raza would have a stroke every day. But I do, yeah. That seems to be. It's the high risk, high reward type of thing where like you're betting a lot on this, but when it explodes, it gets to the point where okay, I'm safe, I'm secure, right? That's the payoff. To me, it's just it's more about being there, being at a thing that's already consistent. I prefer consistency, so that's my security
Yeah.
is having that sort of like that routine over and over again.
Right.
And again, everybody's different. People may not like the consistency, but
Well, that's the truth. Like some people thrive in chaos and some people don't, and that's okay. Right? Bailey is one of those people that thrives very well in chaos. So, we can't all like,
But
look at Bailey and be like, "Why can't we do that?" Like some people it's no comparison, right? Some people thrive that way and some people need a different support system. Bailey's the
yeah,
kind of guy like Bailey needs to be punked off. If he comes to you and he's sad, like punk him off. It's the best way to like reset him. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's basically it.
I,
Yeah,
Ultimately,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I don't have a good point. Ignore me. Someone else hop in. Sorry.
but yeah, I just think that like it's if you do this content creation thing and if you want to make it a full-time thing, you just need to understand that like it isn't gonna be a fluid ride, right? There is gonna be a bunch of bumpiness all throughout.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of kids. It's what Aiden Ross sort of presents itself to be. Speed does that, but like, yeah, just join us and it'll be like you can get these deals, you can get millions of dollars outright. But what happens when it goes away? You know, so it's something that kids younger than us sort of need to look in at and really think about this because this is a sort of a path that's it can be viable, but then it also can't be.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
depends on you.
it's kind of like a athlete, like a NBA player coming out of high school. Like you're taking someone with no life experience and giving them millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden they're 40 and all the money's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
It's yeah. It's like it's I don't know how to say it. It's just, if I was somebody who had that success, it's hard because my philosophy is like live as if you will never have that. You know what I mean? Because it's something that I've always said. Like my grandfather used to always talk about money and like was very crazy about money. And I used to always say to him, I'm gonna live as if what I have is all I'm ever going to have, and everything else is a gift. And that's just how I've kind of done things. So like financially, I just trust that I have what I need and I'll get what I need going forward. And I know it sounds so crazy to just be like trust the universe, but it's like really like take the pressure off yourself and just be like chug forward. Do the things in the motion that you're doing them and trust that you're doing the right things and like ask questions and ask for advice and all those things and don't be like you said if you want to double guess yourself ahead, but just also trust that like you're going where you need to go. Just
Mm-hmm.
follow it. I know it sounds crazy. I trust me, I know. But it's like all the times in my life where I have let go and just followed the path that I'm on is when I find success. When I finally like calm down and I'm like, okay, I can handle bigger things and I can handle things coming towards me because I'm like, I'm gonna get past it. There, like, I have to trust that this is the speed bump and I'm getting there.
I feel you. That's the tip I'm on, like literally right now. So I totally
You're on
get you
tip.
there.
You're on
Yeah,
tip, Bailey.
I'm riding that tip,
You're on
nice
the
and
tip.
close, bud.
Gosh.
I'm making sure it's nice and oiled up for me, fam.
during the holy month of Black History, mind you,
I don't think I can laugh
no,
at that
like
joke.
I can agree to all of that because like there is where there's a will, there is a way.
Yeah.
And as long as you're able to like look at the world in a more positive way, the stress sort of melts away on its own.
Yeah.
Things I believe things happen for a reason. There's some sort of bullshit up there that's telling me to struggle all my life, which is great. God, stop giving me your strongest battles. I'm not your strongest soldier. Um, but like I do ultimately think there is a way for us to navigate all of this, but without losing who we are.
Yeah.
And it's something that in people like Aiden Ross don't can't do. People like
Well,
So what I'm curious,
Kanye
like,
can't do.
what about someone who pigeonholes themselves creative? So I'm jumping to the last point, kinda, but then also it's still very related. So it's like people could go viral off of something more singular and momentary, and then it
Yeah.
defines their career, right? Like how do you run away
Yeah.
from that? You know what I mean? Like I wrote here, I think of Rebecca Black, right? This girl was doing a PR tour all last year trying to develop hype for a new album, but still the only thing she could use was, oh, I was that Friday girl. You know what I mean?
well, I think she's smart actually in what she's doing. I think like
But so that's yeah, how
I
is she
feel like
like how's she I'm interested to hear.
in a weird way I feel like she's not a good example cuz
Okay.
she has found new success in her
Yeah.
current career choices and
Hmm.
she did the right thing of like using her failure to generate success
Yeah.
because she failed, she backed off, she worked on it and went forward.
Yeah,
But if
and she
you're
also
asking,
disappeared too, eh? She also
yes,
like completely
Thank you.
went off
exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
But if you're asking me about someone who gets popular off a niche, I think more like TikTokers who do one
Yeah.
shtick and they get very popular off that, and then the next 60 videos are all that shtick, slightly modified. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Yeah.
those
I
are the
recently came.
people.
Sorry, recently came across the Turkish guy who like shakes his belly and does that dance, and his belly
Yeah.
just goes, oh my god, it's insane! Hundreds of millions of views, and he just rubs his belly up and down.
It's
Yes.
yeah.
Well, it's like
It's
sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead, Rob.
it's these shticks, these like Salt Bay shticks, these like
Yeah.
very limited things that people do that pigeon themselves. They even they're a victim of their own success. Whereas
Yes.
Rebecca Black, she saw, she's like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, and then she just dipped,
Yeah.
went off of the radar, and she came back. People were like, oh, you're actually talented. Never mind, we take everything thing back. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good example of what to do
Yeah.
if you want to not get if you want to escape uh that box you by accidentally put yourself in.
Exactly. It's
Okay, I feel
what
that.
I really think about when I think about someone who does something like that with their careers, like if you get internet famous from one thing, like it's really kind of hard to move from that because you're always going to be that person to people on social media.
Hmm.
But I think
Mhm.
what you should do is capitalize on that success. Say, okay, I did this one thing. It got me millions of views. People really loved it. I'll maybe do it like 3 or 4 more times just to get the last shits and giggles out. And then once you do that, just be honest with your audience and say, hey, those who want to see me grow and create and do fun and new and different, stay. If you don't, thank you for enjoying me at what you felt was my best. And maybe I'll see you in a few years. Like, don't pigeonhole yourself. Like, do the shtick if that's what you want to do for the little while. But then once you've garnered those followers, just know that people who actually like you, they'll stick around for your other content. And then you'll create what's called a new audience. And guess what? Those are very fun. So
I
just
think it.
keep going.
I think overall good advice, but I do question how easy that is. There are people
Not.
that definitely you'll get those diehard fans no matter what, but it's like
Mhm.
I'm very much a proponent of, especially now, the changing media landscape. Like, say if you're a TikToker and all of a sudden you want to go to YouTube videos, you'll get some going, but a large portion of that audience, it doesn't directly translate as easily. And I'm not talking obviously the multi-billion TikTokers. I'm talking some guy who has like 50K, some 50K followers.
I mean, but honestly, my advice to you is to not give a like literally. If you are successful on TikTok and you decide, okay, I want to move over to making YouTube videos, do it. Literally, do not worry yourself about how many people are going to follow you over to the new platform or not. Just do it. Like, you've garnered success in some way. Use both platforms, but like don't limit yourself. If you want to do a different form of content or a different media thing, do it. Like, don't
Hmm.
stop yourself because what if people don't like it, or what if
Yeah, but I think you can make those choices later on in your career.
people
At
don't
the
follow you?
beginning,
There'll be
you
a small
sort of
group that will.
yeah, yeah.
Mm, I agree with you in some ways, Ron. If you're gonna keep doing the shtick, but you also want to
Mm.
do YouTube and the shtick.
Yeah, yeah. You know, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, like, uh, you should be able to like, yeah, just don't. Well, what we're doing as a brand,
Yeah,
we're not staying in one camp. We like it's sort of like because at that point you're gonna make yourself more safe. You know?
yeah. Like, don't let
Hmm.
the shtick stop you. Let it
Yeah.
contribute to you.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't make it a part. And like, unfortunately, not many people are gonna listen to this. But like people like again like Salt Bay and people like that, they stick with that, and they run with it to the point where like that's all they're known for, and it's too late now for them to try something else because then they'll be associated with just that, and that sort of
Right.
limits them. Whereas we go back to Rebecca Black, she saw it early on and was able to say, "Okay, I'm done with this. I'm gonna do my own thing and then come back."
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's tons of different strategies. The thing is, like, there is no blueprint for social media. Like, legit. I don't care what anybody. Sorry, Bailey. I don't care what anybody says about algorithms and this and that and like what. Sure, there is some type of blueprint, but there's no real blueprint for success because there's tons of people who try and follow the quote unquote print and do all the things that they think that they should do and still
Yeah.
fail. Like,
Yeah.
just do like serious, like legitimately do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do. Like, seriously, like do whatever it is that you feel like doing. Don't hold
Uh,
yourself back.
yeah, but like, and the key thing is what I'm finding out through my research is yeah, just keep on doing that, but also keep on being consistent. Even if your
Yeah,
videos get like one, two views, keep on doing it because that's essentially how people do it. They're just doing it every day. Um, and that's like like the main thing. Yeah, the main thing is just to do it every as much as you can, but just be consistent because then it goes to show that like you are being you actually
Yeah.
care about this, you are actually doing it, it's helping the machine notice you more. It's just yeah, just everything mixes in with that key of consistency, and then there you go.
exactly.
You can become more successful quicker if you're consistent. In that matter, I should say.
Yeah, and
Cool.
that's why I think it's important to combine like both of those. Like personally, it's taking that consistency and using the motivation of doing what you want at your core, but the focus is feeding the machine and developing trust. So you can
Yeah,
navigate how you want to develop that trust. But that's say why you can watch an influencer like Ninja lose followers very quickly because You can, depending on what field you take, it doesn't matter, but you need to develop that trust with the people who are your audience, even if you're just doing what you want or you're selling out. And I think that's like super critical to that formula functioning for the long term if you want to express yourself creatively.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that. It took me a minute to
I just feel like
process that.
just like don't concern yourself with semantics. Like seriously, we spend too much time concerning like if I change, everyone's gonna unfollow me. Okay, so then let them unfollow you because other people are gonna follow you back for that. Like that's part of life. It ebbs and flows, right? People are gonna come and some people are so simple-minded that they'd rather just watch you do the same thing for the rest of your life. But why would you want to just keep doing that? Literally, the
Yeah.
definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Doesn't
Yeah,
work.
and it also like grow too. Like you can't just be in the same. Like you always want to do more, and that helps if you change your entire flow of things. If you
Well, you're
change your
gonna stunt
entire
yourself.
thing. Yeah, yeah, and then you see people around you get bigger because they're adapting or they're changing because now they have seen a new. Now they're experiencing a new comfort. So that's yeah. You just gotta figure out what works and what doesn't, and then do it often. You know, that's what we're doing, I guess.
Yeah. Pushing through.
Pushing right through.
I agree. I'm gonna break the fourth wall here. I'm gonna break the fourth wall
No,
here.
don't
Do it. Don't do it.
No.
You got it. Okay. No, I won't then. All right. Well, we're going to a commercial break anyway, so fuck it. Raza's got the chat for us. So if you're listening to this podcast, we also do it live. You can tune in and watch us record this live. We actually have a very friendly chat. And for the month of March, we're going to be doing an entire marathon. So keep note. And I want to give a big gracious thanks for both Wine Mom's personal stories as well as the very helpful advice today. Thank you. Thank you again for being our mother.
Welcome.
All right. Commercials. Be right back.
All right.
Quick notice, guys. We're doing a marathon. March Madness is coming up, and since we're marching into madness, we figured why not try to push our own boundaries. So you can see this calendar here. We're going to be busting our asses to try to make something every single day of the month. We don't expect it to blow us up or nothing, but what we're hoping is we can learn what content works best for us and what we have the most fun doing. So tune in, try to enjoy the variety, and, tell your grandma about us. Quick notice. Go.
Okay, I gotta pee.
Me and Raza will just hold the fort down. Our mics are live, Raza.
Stop.
Yeah.
Should I go first? Since mine is going to be completely ad-libbed.
Yeah, sure, if you want. I can't use the special screens because they're not set up for when Mom's here, so we're just going to stay here. I just want to, Afro, I'm going to fix the chat commands for my antique stream. Might be a little short tomorrow because I'm going to get all the chat commands set up for this shit, and we'll be able to fire off the calendar in the chat with just like March Madness or something. But just a heads up, since these are all the boys and we're about to get new viewers.
Yes.
What's up? I was like, you're looking at me like I'm confusing to you. Okay. I was like,
should we? Are we going into this next part, or should I?
I think maybe wait for Wine Mom so that she's not totally blown off.
All right.
And then you usually just jump right into it, right? Do I go like, welcome back to the news section? That's the part I don't remember.
Yeah, you say, guys, so welcome back.
Okay, welcome
to the news part now.
All right, I'll do that.
Well, you've been doing this for a month.
Yeah. Yo, come on. I just got to double check.
Come on, Raza. Get off my dick.
I'm doing the narrating for a couple of these now. They get jumbled up.
Yeah.
I'm literally smoking less things so that I can work on my memory, so that I can make sure I remember all this stuff, because I'm choosing this over the blem.
I played with Stone.
What?
Saturday.
You played with Stone?
One of Bailey's friends, Stone Red.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Cool
know.
guy.
That is.
Cool guy.
Yeah, you do.
Lives in a farm.
Yeah.
Oh, is that who I think it is?
Yeah, it's the homie. It's the homie who went to see my grandma with me.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, so he's around all of a sudden. So it definitely makes sense doing things ahead. Okay, we're gonna hop right back into it. I'll do my little jump in, Wine Mom, and then we're doing our news section. So just so you know, Raza like summarizes his shit, and then he will very distinctly prompt. So now I have questions for you guys, or now I'm checking in with what you guys think. Okay.
Okay.
Only thing is I don't like I'm ad-libbing this.
So
Doing this off the cusp. It's about Aiden Ross. So you'll have a fun time with this.
yeah, we've primed you already. So we're back, internets.
Yeah,
This
you're
is our
okay.
news section. Yeah, you may have seen a lot of movie clubs in our feed, but don't worry, this is gonna be here for the meantime, and it's staying. So, Raza has some ad-libbed news, which flows excellently off of what we were talking about. What do you got for us today?
Ad-libbed is nuts. So Aiden Ross, popular streamer and hero to many, Aiden Ross got permanently banned from Twitch, which is a big one. Big ban. The reason why he got banned, he was simultaneously streaming on Kick, the new platform to compete against Twitch, but it's still in its early days, so there's a lot going on there. For example, streamer got banned one day for receiving a certain type of move on him. But anyways, on February 24th, Aiden got banned from Twitch for basically unmoderated chat coming from another platform.
Okay.
And this goes against Twitch's uh, guidelines. People were saying multiple racist rants. People were also saying um, anti-Semitic stuff. They're being misogynistic. The typical stuff. He didn't condemn it. He didn't stop it. It was unmoderated, so the mods didn't do anything to combat it. And then he was hit with a ban. He did. He went silent for about a couple of days, and then he posted on his Twitch or his Twitter last night. There's only two genders, and that's also been uh, uh, lumped into this. Now he isn't mad about this or isn't upset about this because he according to him he has his spot secured in Kick, which is, as I mentioned, in a more risque streaming service. Now the questions that I have for my fellow people here is that um uh if Aiden Ross does this and he jumps to Kick, is this showing that he doesn't really understand the backlash, or is he doing it just to be a typical shit poster?
May I?
Okay.
Because I know Wine Mom's gonna go off, and I do agree with what she's gonna say. So I just want to hop in with.
All right, go.
On top of the disillusion stuff that I know she's going to talk about, I think he is going through that spiral that she mentioned earlier. He's not stable. I read about interviews with his family, like his family says that he doesn't talk to them anymore, that he's like isolated from them, that he's totally like changing as a person. So I think this is the exact downward spiral that Wine Mom was pointing at, and I think is a good additional, like, that his mental health does not seem to be in the best space associated with all of these negative things that he's doing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
My mom go off.
get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your question is, if you could repeat yourself, just because I got lost.
Does he know what like is he shit posting, or does he actually not understand what he's doing?
It's weird. I feel like it might be a of both. I feel like he has no fucking idea what to do. obviously, because he just lost a huge platform. Because this is the thing, I really don't care what anybody says about new social media streaming platforms or other streaming platforms. It's like old people know what Twitch is. Okay, so like
Yeah.
it is the biggest streaming platform. It's the most popular, most commonly used one. I mean, arguably YouTube also has a streaming platform. So if anything, it's neck and neck is those two things.
Mhm.
But I think that he just doesn't understand what these ramifications are actually going to be. That's what I think
Yeah.
it is. I think that he's I don't think he's panicked. I think he's chilling
Yeah.
because I think he's too stupid to like really understand the gravity of what's happened.
Okay.
And like even with the two genders thing and the tweeting, that's like that's minimal in his life repercussions because people say that kind of shit all the time. Not that I think it's okay, but it's
Mhm.
like people are going to keep saying that, and people who of that nature are going to say shit like that because he wants everybody looking at his tweets right now. This is the thing. He's he's not stupid, but he's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, "Okay, I just had this big failure." Which I don't think
Mhm.
he sees it as a failure. He's like, I just had this big failure, and it's gonna give me an opportunity to have a shoe in with this new company because I can say, hey, now I'm gonna take my however many viewers and bring them to your platform. So he's saying, you know, look, I found success in failure. Okay, possible, maybe. Um,
Mhm.
okay, but he also is thinking, how can I get everybody watching me and talking about me so that when I make this transition, everybody's going to be following what I'm doing. So let me
Right.
just tweet
Mhm.
some out of pocket bullshit because people are going to want to see the comments on that tweet. So a lot of people, because I guarantee you right now, a lot of people are engaging with that tweet. I'm sure people who didn't even know who he was before finding out who he is,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
kind of people that support that rhetoric and that ideology are going to start to follow and pay attention to him. So he's using it. He's using this opportunity to garner a new form of success. But
Mhm.
when you garner success in a manic episode, it's not success long term. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm sort of like on the fence. Like, yeah, I do kind of agree with that because like look at because Twitch is a massive platform as you said for streaming, and like Kick is not anywhere near, but he's all doing this on the assumption it'll be big.
yeah,
But I don't think many people will just quickly go to Kick just because of one streamer. A lot
yeah,
of their streamers are still on Twitch, on YouTube, on uh, these
Mhm.
uh, things. So and Kick is already having issues on its own because they're like you can say whatever you want, but then you also get banned for a certain amount of the internet isn't strictly to America; it's for the whole world. So
well,
I
yeah.
think
I mean, if Kick
And
is bringing him over, saying if Kick's bringing him over and they're like, you can behave however you want on our website, they're only going to create their own failure. Because here's the thing, and I think we get this: like censorship sucks, but censorship is kind of necessary in some because
mhm,
certain countries allow your content there without censorship. So
right.
it's like if you want to get some sort of message out there, it has to sort of covertly. So Kick's just gonna ruin themselves because they'll get banned in other regions and countries and stuff for allowing him to behave how he wants.
Yes.
Mhm.
But
I
I
agree
just,
with that, sir.
well, it's just like to add to it, it's not a contrasting. I just also think he's dumb because he's watching his friends who have much more diverse source of incomes. Like he's watching an Andrew Tate who's can't say that name. He's watching the
Matrix
top
Boy.
G. Yeah, he's watching the Matrix boy uh somehow survive and stay afloat because he's got other sources of income. He's watching the Jordan Petersons. He's watching all of these different. He had an opportunity to interview Ye, so it's like his ego is so inflated to the point that it's like he's like, oh, I'll be cool because I'll just do X, Y, and Z. But it's like, are you sure it's gonna work that way for you?
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I feel it's so weird. I feel like it's not like this kid's ever gonna hear what we have to say, and like
No.
like there'll be no learning from us. But it's like you're following somebody who's yet to have their real failure yet. That's the thing. It's
Mhm.
like Top G, I'm sure he's had some failure to some degree, but he hasn't had his like true, even with all the arrests and stuff going on, he hasn't really had his true failure yet because there's too many people that are like hung up on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Like eventually he's gonna have a fading out moment where it's really gonna be something. I don't know when it's coming or what's gonna happen, but it will, right?
Yeah.
But this kid is following what he thinks is success. And he really has that mentality of like, if I just keep like smashing my head against the wall, nobody's gonna stop me because nobody wants me to smash my head against them, so they're gonna leave me alone while I just barrel through this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like
Right.
honestly, like, you know, not in a like, I don't wish ill will on anybody, and if success, I would like you to keep it, so do your thing. But he's just the kind of person, like, he's self-service. So like personally, I feel like do your thing, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, I. But to
Learn
Aiden
your
Bluff,
lesson.
it's just like, yeah, like I don't think he will ever learn his lesson because I'm on his channel right now on Kick,
He will. He
and it's,
will.
I mean, not anytime soon.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't think
like anytime,
that.
like maybe in like 10,
Yeah, I
5, 10
think
years,
this will
maybe.
be a crash as he becomes the old guy in
Yeah, when he's
this.
most comfortable in his stupidity is when
Yeah.
everything will come crashing down.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Um, and then like I think people like Hassan are like sort of like warning him, but like if you keep on doing this, you're gonna screw up, and you're not gonna become you're not gonna come back from this because like you've lost Twitch, which is his biggest one.
Yeah.
Um, so it just I think that like maybe he needs this. Maybe he needs this like character development storyline, but it may not
Yeah, I
serve
mean,
him the way that I think it will.
I just feel like somebody like that, like his current, like, okay, I can give all the advice in the right, but if
Mhm.
your current mindset is I can't fail, then like I go ahead. I can't help, like, no one's gonna be able to help you. And like, quite honestly, if you're an OG streamer or YouTuber or content creator, don't waste your time. Don't waste your breath. Like, literally, like, you owe that kid nothing. And quite honestly, if it was the other way around and you were the one failing, that kid would be
Yeah,
laughing at you. So like,
honestly, yeah, that's
let
the
him
thing.
fail.
Like, yeah, like if you are content for him,
Right.
if anything, like he looks
That's what
at
I'm
you
saying.
as like a money sort
Mm-hmm.
of
Because if you talk
system.
about him, what do you think he's
Yeah,
gonna do? Listen, you guys know I like
or like
Hassan,
a
but
suit bump.
what do you think he's gonna do if Hassan sits up on his stream and talks about this kid for, you know, half an hour, and Hassan is not always the nicest, but and Hassan says some good contenty stuff for this kid to take and stream.
Yeah,
All
he's
Hassan has
gonna.
done, right, all Hassan has done is give his viewers the opportunity to go over and view this kid's content and spew their opinions in protection of Hassan. Like, it's not even Hassan, it's not even worth it, bro. Like, it's he's not
Yeah.
even like, you're above that. You know what I mean? And like, be above that
Mhm.
and just be like, okay, I don't care. Carry on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do your
it all
thing.
becomes like a big old club at the
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah,
day. It all
yeah.
becomes this uh like people are helping other people platform other people. Like Hassan is flat out he's talking about him, keeping him in the eyes of the public, Twitch or no Twitch, he's still there.
Yeah.
It's a big
That's
old club, and it's what trips me out about it though is because like once you're at that point, like once you're at 100K followers, you're making $5,000 a month. We're not rich, but you can eat off of that, right? So by the time you're at these guys' level, you're making like multi-million dollars a year, and why do you need the club to make even more stupid millions? Like, that's just too much money, bro. Why are you still stressing and making this old boys club and and keeping what's the point of this funnel, you know? Why does Hassan need to keep doing the shit that he's doing when he's not really like being the influencer that he sells himself to be?
Well, I don't think Hassan's intentions are one or the other, really. Like, Hassan is a commentary guy, so it's kind of his job to commentate on shit on the internet. It just so happens that it ends up being to his fault because you're promoting a shit poster to your genuine fan base, right? It's like sometimes like I struggle here, right, when we talk about certain things of like for the Gabby Hanna thing, for instance, when we had to go over that stuff when we were dealing with that and all of that, like it was a struggle for me because I was like, one, I don't want her to have any attention from anybody that like not that we're famous for Christ's sake, but I don't want to be pushing her content or encouraging people to see what she's doing. But at the same time, there's this like moral obligation to be like, it's kind of like this is why you shouldn't use the internet in this way, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's hard because how do you choose whether to talk about it or not, right? Because we know Hassan's gonna do it, we know Phil's gonna do it, we know Penguins is gonna do it, we know Leon Lush is gonna do it, we know like that Jason guy is gonna do it. Like we know all popular YouTubers and streamers, like they're all gonna talk about him. So it's like, how do you decide whether you're going to or not, you know?
Yeah, I think controversy is one of the biggest sort of like.
It's not even real. Like controversy is not even punishment anymore.
No, it's not. It's more like, oh, I have controversy now. Get ready to make more
That's what I'm
bang.
saying.
Yeah.
The better controversy is not even talking about it at all. Because I had somebody ask me the other day, like, I mean, it's different context from this, but somebody asked me, like, if something like happened to you and became big news and everybody was talking about it, it was being promoted everywhere, and like everyone's asking you about it all the time, and like your name is being put everywhere, and people are tweeting about you and tweeting at you, and all these things are happening to you. Like, wouldn't you respond in whatever type of fashion? And I was like, no,
Yeah,
because I personally would be like, I'm not giving you fuel for your fire. Like, go to your echo chamber and good luck.
I
Like,
think
I'm not giving you that.
I think half of it is how you is a controversy, but the other half is how you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can be graceful about it, be like, I screwed up, you know. I messed up. I apologize. I will do whatever I can to fix it to make myself a better person. Or it could be like Aiden wants to be like, yeah, I don't know what happened though. I'm just gonna go on here on Kick now and talk the same thing and not learn anything. So it's I think if you're genuine enough, people will also see that, and that becomes a part of your image. Okay.
Yeah.
This person actually means what they're talking about, and that's also how you develop trust with your audience. Yeah.
So that's how, like, yeah, on that note, that's how I say, like a Steve Will Do It from the Nelk Boys got kicked off of YouTube and dragged everyone over to the one the Top G goes on Rumble. He got millions of dollars to go over to Rumble, and I think it's because of that, because he's very, very Trumpito-y, but he's genuine. He doesn't bullshit like he's on this extra. He just gives everybody millions of dollars, and that's who he is. So I think even though he has opinions that are less favorable in the public sphere, he's able to maintain and cultivate that audience through the genuine personality that he's portraying.
Right.
Well, it's like the thing is, like, you could be shittiest person on the internet, but if you just don't address your controversies and you just carry on forward, you'll continue to be successful. And that's fucked up, but that's the reality.
It works.
It's like, if you just keep generating more shit around this, like, okay, of your controversy, like, we're tired of hearing about it over and over again, and then that's when people start to unfollow you, block you, But if you don't talk about it and you let everybody else just scream into the echo chamber, like, you're gonna be fine.
Like
Which is, I
I
hate to give that advice and I hate to say that and I hate to validate
yeah.
that behavior, but like that's the truth. Like the more you focus on it, the worse you make it. The less you focus on it, the quicker it goes away.
Like the amount of content creators that I've seen get in trouble for like the big ones like SA, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't even address it. They just keep on going, and
Yep.
they're like, and the community's like, yeah, more content for us. Just ignore the haters. You're
Well,
being
because
canceled.
well,
Karen's
'cause-
over here trying to cancel you. Yeah.
well, that's the thing, right? If somebody
Yeah.
accuses you of something and you give it no validity whatsoever, as like no response, no, like you literally just basically are like, that's not true, or I don't care, and move from it, people are like, oh, okay, I guess like it's not that big of a deal. But if you sit there and you're like tooth and nail talking about it every day, dragging yourself across the floor, trying to clear your name or what, like you're just creating way too
Yeah.
much chaos around it. And then people are
But
like, okay, this
even
guy's like trying way too hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, even then you have to find that balance because then you're at the point if you overdo it, you're sort of you are trying to victimize yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, yeah, and you have these YouTube apology videos, start crying, but you have messed up, not the
Yeah.
person. So you sort of have to manage it in an adult way. Like the thing that comes to mind is when Jake Paul, not Jake Paul, well, the older one,
Logan.
Logan.
Logan. He went to Japan. He went to
Yeah, I did
very
the yeah.
specific forest in Japan. Uh, he sort of did it in a very graceful way, but at the same time he minimized the issue with making himself to be the victim. You know?
Well, that's
So,
he just blew it with his crypto thing that he just did because he came at
well,
CoffeeZilla and blamed the community rather than took responsibility. You know?
that was, I was just
Right.
gonna, that was what I was just gonna say. I think Logan Paul is the best example of how to get past the controversy is to like, I fucked up, and then come back and be like, okay, these are all the ways that I fucked up, and like I hold myself accountable for it.
Yeah.
Making the mistake again after fucked up again, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, like he handled that almost extremely well.
Yeah, like I I almost kind of wonder how much weight these apologies hold
Nothing,
after the first
nothing,
two,
nothing. They
you
mean
know?
nothing. They
yeah.
just keep doing it because they think that's what they think they need to keep doing to keep people thinking that they're sympathetic for their mistakes.
So I was even thinking about this because like I know this us Martian Mantis, we're not gonna have controversies because I like my parents. I have a good relationship with them, and I don't want to embarrass them on online by being a dumbass, right? So, like, I look at that and I say, I have these values that I've been taught all my life by uh, my parents, and I'm not gonna just throw them out the window just to make a few bucks. Because in 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 the long run, I feel like that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are genuine to yourself, you're keeping consistent with yourself, and again, that's the trust that you have. You sort of
So
build.
I agree with you, but I also think it's important to note that not everyone is impervious to failure of that degree, right? It's like it's not like
Right.
you're net like it's not like you could literally say the most innocent thing and somebody could twist it on you and make a big
Yeah,
controversy. You know what I mean? Like you can't
yeah,
sit here and think that's never going to happen
yeah.
because
You
that's
can
not
try.
the solution, right? Right, that's not the
Yeah,
solution. The solution is that if that should ever happen, being more than prepared to go and apologize and own up and understand that. And it's like I think like on podcast because we've talked about this a lot is like I've said it before like if I'm wrong about something like if we're wrong about something and somebody points us out for it like I'm more than willing to hear about it and then constructively change myself and move forward like you're never done growing, you're never done learning. And I've said this before as well, like, I don't know everything. I'm never going to know everything. I'm never going to have the perfect opinion. So,
See,
like, I'm accepting that I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm willing to work on myself and communicate with my fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed.
And I think that's ultimately the hardest part of the self growth to teach people, because that's also outside of the bounds of the life experience
It's
that you were outlining before. Because that humbleness, that's like a
it's ego.
cultural value that
Yeah,
like it's got to be passed down to you to learn to be humble. You know what I mean?
exactly. That's the thing, is like, you can't have true, like, I've said this before, and I've heard people who I know that are very successful have said this to me, is like, if you don't have an ego death at some point in your life, like, it's not going to work. Like, you if you're too wrapped up in your ego, your life perspective is just so pigeonholed. It's just not good. Like,
Mm.
you have to be able to handle things gracefully, cuz, like, don't get me wrong, I hate being wrong. And you guys know that. Like, I will argue with you until I have 0 points left. Like, I've done that on this podcast before. I will do it
Yeah.
again. Like I will argue with you until I literally cannot fight back anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a bit of my ego, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, eventually you have to go, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe you do have a point. As much as it sucks to not always be the most correct person in the room, like, put your
Mm-hmm.
ego away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's sort of like we all want to be the main character, but
Yeah.
it's it's like how do you
That's the
humble
truth. It's true.
yourself?
It's so
Yeah. Yeah.
true.
It's true. So that flows well. Same topic, same journey. That's my news story. Can I hop
Oh
in
yeah, I
on
forgot
mine?
Bailey. We
Yeah.
haven't even
So
Bailey
that it segues
has one.
perfectly, actually. So, yeah,
Okay.
this gentleman, I'm here to update you about someone who also wanted to be the main character because he always pretended he was. So, Dilbert dabbled too much. Where I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet so I can report it objectively, and then I'll slam you with my opinion after. Dilbert, the man's with the weird tie, like the cartoon character. He's in office. He's got the square head. He's got the curly hair. It was in every comic strip in newspapers. Like, yeah, you remember those, like a
The TV show too,
newspaper
right?
comic strip. Oh yeah, it was. It was a cartoon back in the day. I forgot that. So over the years, the creator Scott Adams has expressed public support for a variety of like right-wing influencers and politicians. So, also, I wanted to note, if you didn't know, he's so self-obsessed, he made his house look like Dilbert, his famous character. Now, whatever. So, skip to now. He was on a show called Real Coffee and was asked about a Rasmussen poll, which asked Americans how they felt about the phrase, quote unquote, "It's okay to be white." White.
Oh boy.
Welp.
Should I just leave now?
From here, he chose to say a couple controversial statements, which I'm not even going to repeat here because we want the YouTube gods to still like us. So you can look that up. His name is Scott Adams. There's headlines everywhere, creating immediate chaos on Twitter and within the prehistoric newspapers that used to run these comic strips. Finally, now this is the line that they've drawn in the sand. Yeah, this is it's
Yeah.
okay to be white. They're saying no more Dilbert. And of
Yeah.
course, Elon came out in support of him on Twitter, but that's not bad reporting. That's just Elon fact. So now our personal opinion part. Now that we're there, I think we've made it clear through these convos like where we fall on that line. So we don't need to go too hard on like Scott Adams, Dilbert, right wing stuff. I wanted to start light with it first. Do you even remember Dilbert, Wine Mom? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm literally Googling it right now. I know Dilbert, obviously, but I'm wanting to see what he said, repeat it.
God Adams
So,
is this bald looking fuck. That's all you.
yeah. Well, let's not go so low as to
I
go
the
after
lightest
appearances. He's already stupid enough.
the
No.
lightest quote I can say that he said that was light work was he said every white American should stay away from black people.
Yeah, I literally just read that.
I
Yeah.
read that he identified as a black man.
Yeah, so that's
Is that
he's been in heavily, yeah, he's done really weird controversial shit. He's gone off the fucking rails before. He's been outspoken supporter of like Milo Yiannopoulos and other people who spread literal hate speech. So it's like really weird in terms of showmanship from the media because he's been an outspoken influencer about much worse. But I find it uncanny that as we're leading up to an election, that all of a sudden they're like, okay, nah, this guy, now he's being too much. Now we need to start a controversy up so that we got to get this culture war started, get the pot a boiling in the Western media.
Yeah, yeah. And then because of that, he's like, what? Nobody. His book is canceled now. A bunch
Yeah.
of publications. Yeah. Okay.
He's finally out of the newspaper strips. So it's just when I, first off, starting light, again, now that I gave some perspective, is like how many kids this guy, that's why I think it's a fake news story. I don't want to say fake news story because that makes me come off as too out there, but that's why I think it's very much part of sparking the culture war up, because how many kids even know what the fucking newspaper comic is? Ain't nobody read
Yeah,
Calvin and
exactly.
Hobbes no more. There's no one under 25 who's ever seen a comic strip in a newspaper.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm kind of concerned about because it's like nobody knows who he is. So why is he saying all of these outlandish things outside of the boomer demographic?
And why is it the main headline across the media other than to start a culture war? Because otherwise no one cares about this dude. Like, I mean, he's been syndicated for how long? He's been supporting X, Y, and Z people for how long? And now let's write the big article about him, even though there's been a million exposés from The Guardian, The Times, the this, the that over the past decade. You can go find them.
Yeah.
So what is the question, Bailey? What is your ultimately? Because I hear you. What are you ultimately?
So that was first. That was first.
topic of him, right? Like
what?
what are we trying to get to?
Yeah.
Well, first off,
'Cause
like
you
how
made
many?
all your points in your comment, right?
Yeah.
ahead.
I was waiting for you to get briefed, and I was just going because I knew you were reading. It was first is like how many kids? Why is he being brought up? How many kids even know about who the fuck Dilbert is? Why is this like the main melting point? Because it's not like Dilbert is a cultural character. Why do you think this is being highlighted so thoroughly?
Well, first of all, I think it depends on who is highlighting it. I don't know how to address this because it's all very stupid.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like I don't care what that guy has to say. Like it's so weird. It's like I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to explain this.
That's why you're a good example. That's my question. That's why, because it's
Right,
completely weird and out there.
Right. So his character, like his person, like who he is, right? Not the Dilbert character, his personal character,
Okay.
right? Is not modeled for the young person. It's not. It's modeled for those opinionated, closed mind old fucks who never changed their opinions over the years. That's the kind of people that he's for. But this situation, because anything that has to do with media and anything that has to do with politics, because that seems to be the only fucking thing that people talk about or care about on the fucking internet anymore, is politics. So it's gonna make its rounds because it's a political statement. Everything he said is grotesque. That's the reality. If that's your opinion, then you're quite fucking ignorant, and literally your career wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the backs of black people. But go off, sweetie, like feel how you feel. Go ahead and stay away from them because I'm sure they don't want anything to do anyways. So like okay. But I feel like it's just I feel like it's the younger generation. I can only whoever wrote the article or got most upset about it is probably a young person within our age bracket, maybe a little bit older, but I'd say between 5 to 35, 40 maybe. And that's still to me that's a youngish bracket. that's probably the person who got pissed off and wrote the article and like called him out for his nonsense. And like
David
for us,
Lieb.
and how old is he?
I'm trying to figure him out. Keep going though. I just
Well, yeah,
decided to blurt that out.
I just think
So
it's like he's trying to draw some sort of
no,
attention
no, no,
to
no.
him.
So what? No, no, no. So what I think it is, I think it's just another moment in time where we talk about an old idiot who doesn't know when to shut the fuck up about their shitty opinions. Somebody
Yeah.
dragged him out of the dirt for whatever reason, or he was doing some sort of press for some stupid thing that he's doing, which is like whatever. But it's like he's for the old people, not for the young people. So I feel like it's just another opportunity for young people to embarrass an old idiot. That's just like what it feels like. Now, it's a political stance that is a valuable political stance, of course. Like that sucks. That's shitty. People shouldn't be talking about that. Like it's 2023. Like it. Just move on. Like if somebody said to me, "What do you feel about it's okay to be white?" I'd be like, "I don't care to talk about. Like that's irrelevant to me. Like it's like
Well,
not a conversation I need to entertain. Like I'm confident I'm confident and comfortable in who I am and what I represent that I don't need to have that conversation.
yeah,
Like that's just an insecure old man who doesn't feel good
I
about
would.
his place in the world or his place in politics or his success, that he's
Mhm.
just flushing himself down the toilet. So like I
I
in a in the nicest way possible, this is relevant to talk about. So don't think that I'm saying that. I don't care. That's how I feel about this. If I saw this come
yeah.
up on my feed, I'd be like, I literally don't fucking care. Like, I literally don't care.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's he's uh, it's just manufactured outrage, right? He's
Yeah,
just
Hmm.
doing it at
something
a
to talk
specific
about.
time. Yeah, like it's and then it's something for him to it's like the Simpson thing where it's old man yelling at cloud,
Yeah. So if
right?
it's
Yeah.
like,
I feel it's the same energy.
if we're doing old man yelling at cloud, why are we talking about old man yelling at cloud now? That's what I'm curious about, because I guarantee I could pull up an interview with this guy from a year ago, from 6 months
I
ago, where
guess
he
because
said just as bad
he
shit.
hasn't
Okay, so
he
I'm
hasn't
gonna
been.
tell you
Yeah.
the reason why it's being talked about and the being why it's being said is that like the reality is that like people are tired. That's why. Like like the black community specifically, like they're tired. So they're like, we're done not calling people out. And it's like at this point, this guy had nothing. No one was paying him any attention until this interview. So people are
This
like, okay, if we're doing this, then we're gonna do this. If you want to do this, like we're doing it then, you know?
He's been bare ass racist for years now.
But that's what
But
I'm saying. I have not heard anything about his race antics literally until this very moment. I had no fucking care in the world about who he was. It was completely irrelevant with at least with the last 10 years. So it's like it being brought up now is like, okay, you're an old fuck and you've got enough of your life and enough success. Like, we're not going to give you success in this current scope. Shut up. Let's all just talk about it. And it's really like it's revenge culture too. It's like, let's just ruin all the opportunities we can for this guy and then let's just carry on with it. Because honestly,
Can
like
I
ruining an opportunity for somebody that stupid is easy now. So
can I hear what you think, Raza? Do you think it has to tie into politics or any timely events other than just people catching it all of a sudden because he's relevant?
I think it's like a little bit of everything. It's just,
Yeah.
he's trying to do it to strum up something. He wants to get people angry, and even his right wing friends are saying, "The hell are you talking about, you loony?" Um, so it's like I think the reason why we're hearing about it now is because it's the wording he's using and the way he's presenting himself. He's like calm about it, but he's like, yeah, I'm like he's racist, but he's just like, I'll say these things, but in an eloquent way where it sounds even worse, and that's why it's even more, it's getting more attention on it. And then, but I'm just puzzled that like, yeah, this we've been knew about his political affiliations and the way he thinks since Trumpito has
Yeah.
been in the political um, realm. So why are they getting angry now? They've done that initially. So
He
I
so-
I just think either that or he doesn't bring enough revenue
Yeah.
in.
yeah, because you guys did bring up all controversy is good controversy, so maybe he's watching his other rich friends and going, well, maybe I stir the pot a bit. I'll join the ranks, Jordy boy over
Honestly,
here.
I don't even think it was that. I think it just like happened to be like a weird. It was like a weird set of events that just so happened to give this guy the opportunity to say something. Because whoever asked him that question, like they knew exactly
Oh, yeah.
where this was
Yeah,
going.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
why did you even bother? Like, who cares what that guy
know.
has to say? He
Yeah.
has no influence in, like,
Well, he does to a degree, but not in
Yeah.
what, for the old people who
Yeah,
have
for the older
walkers?
people.
Okay.
Okay.
So scared of you with your
He's got his diehard, like those right wing people all operate in a very insular community, so they're very big amongst each other. There's like micro celebrities, like the girl who got kicked off of Star Wars. We think she's like a nobody, but in like in their sphere, she's still super relevant. So like it's the weird bubbles of this guy,
So
like somehow still
irrelevant.
irrelevant to the majority of culture. But so that can we all sign off on Dilbert sucking?
yeah.
Alright.
I
Yeah.
don't care.
And then like his agent dropped him, the publication dropped him. So many things have happened to him, and it's kind of weird that like it's why are you hanging on to this? His pandemic conspiracy theory was another thing that would have been like red flaggy, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, say la vie. Let's not drown in our tears that capitalism is corrupting everything. Sorry, what?
in his last tweet, he said, "Black conservatives have
I saw that.
have been great to me this week. Much respect." So he's like picking and choosing
Yeah.
who can.
As always. Oh, do you
As-
believe in my politics? You can't be that bad even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
then
Okay.
it goes back to our victim complex talk.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw it to ads, and then we're gonna get off the sad train. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. First time here, not sure what we do. It's okay, hence the name. It's Marching into Madness. It gets a little hectic. We're developing a whole network of content. So if you're watching us on Twitch, we're also on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we're also on Spotify. Watching on Spotify, we're also on TikTok, where on each of these platforms, you'll be able to get a variety of content. You like video games? Tune in with us as we have a relaxing time. You want to hear about some news? We got that too. Same podcast feed, same-ish, different day. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So why not jump in a little deeper? We'll see you there at the depths of the ocean.
Sure about
No.
I know. I feel like he's gonna D's nuts us any second now. But so
It's
we're
not.
back.
It's not. It's what it is. I feel like it is a meme to me though, but apparently it's like there are rumors.
We're back, and Raza's got a good pop up for us on these rumors that I would like to hear. What is it,
Rumors.
Raza?
Who do you think? Okay, so I'm gonna ask my co-host, and if chat wants to jump into this, they can also jump into this. But who do you think Pete Davidson's new arm candy is? I want to objectify.
if you're saying going after Megan Fox, like
No, that's
The
that's old
MGK.
now.
Can't fight
Yeah.
it with MGK, bro. They're two
Yeah.
blondies. Nah, it can't happen.
no, but MG and Pete are friends.
Exactly.
But
Happen.
they
It's
were
someone.
having
It's
the
gotta
feud,
be
though.
someone popular. It's
Yeah,
gotta be
but
someone.
that's untouchable.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson. I don't know my celebrities good enough, so I don't know names. I'm trying to think of who's relevant in the media right now.
Tom Brady's wife.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm with Wine Mom. Tom Brady's ex-wife. Yeah.
I need to see Tom Brady's wife. I've not seen her.
She's
I
a
vote
model.
Tom Brady's ex-wife. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I could say this. Okay, you both get 2 more guesses.
I don't know who's single right now.
Yeah, I don't know enough
Don't
about
matter.
celebrity shit.
It's Hollywood.
Avril Lavigne.
Close.
Pink.
Very
Pink.
close.
Pink.
Very close. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. So there is a rumor. I don't know how valid this is, but there's a rumor that Pete Davidson could be a munch.
No,
What?
what? No, isn't she too young? No, she's just of
Wait,
age, isn't she?
hello? I'm confused.
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
Oh, that girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
SpongeBob
I don't care.
SquarePants.
I don't
Rhythm?
care about that.
Okay.
I'm
But
sorry.
there's a
I'm
rumor.
sorry not to be rude, but
You're
like,
too old.
I don't,
You're too
I don't
old. Too
care.
washed.
Wow.
I'm an old head.
I
I'm
mean,
washed.
I've seen the music and I've seen the hype, but I just don't. I don't care. So,
I don't
that's all.
particularly like it either. I'm just making fun of you because all the
Yeah.
kids love
Like,
it.
whatever.
It went
I
from
mean-
that Emily girl and stuff to.
It went from Coil Ray to Ice Spice, which
Coil
is
Ray,
just as
yeah.
bad, bro.
I feel bad for Pete though, because he's ran through not by his own will.
What?
I
What?
don't know about
He
that.
literally.
What is
said-
this, dog?
Okay,
No.
No, it's depressing because Pete has
Alright.
literally. Okay, this is the problem. I low key have sympathy for Pete because of the connection to Mac.
Because
Circle thing that's happened. No, that's not why. It's because he dated Ariana.
Yeah,
Actually,
no, you're
was
right.
engaged to her right after stuff with Mac. And anyways, it's complicated, and I don't feel like digging up the triangle right now. But Pete has come out and said on multiple occasions he feels like that he's just meant to be the rebound guy that like women spend time with, and then when they feel like they're healed, they let him go. And that's a very sad life to live. So I have sympathy for him for that. Because that's clearly what his dating pattern currently looks like. So hopefully
but-
he'll find love and stop slanging
He
it. At
goofy
it.
though.
I mean, he's an idiot in his own right.
He goofy though.
Yeah. Oh, he's a goofy boy. But so, thank you for your Pete interjections. I appreciate that, Raza. Now we can be hip with the Karens. It's good to know who's going to be on Jimmy Fallon next week. Thank you.
Oh, God.
What? Come on.
Anyways.
That was a good jab. Come on. Come on.
To who? Me or to
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon? Oh,
Well,
no.
to both. To both.
Oh.
Okay. Well, either way,
I
but
like Jimmy Kimmel.
you're a Kimmel man's.
I'm a Kimmel man. Yeah.
My grandpa always was a Kimmel guy, so I'm kind of biased to the Kimmy.
Good.
Mm.
All right,
Good
so well, guys, do you know what we did this last previous week? We started a new show, and we've been watching movies, haven't we, Raza? Just say yes. I need you to say yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
have, yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
not validating you anymore.
Last week we watched Pitch Black, and that video is actually on our YouTube channel, the fully edited version.
Why mom's favorite movie, by the way. She loved Pitch Black.
Oh, she loves Pitch
5 out of
Black.
5 stars.
If you want to know, our boy Vinny Boy stars in the lead role in his first movie as Riddick. So if you're a weeb like us, you might know the Chronicles of Riddick. Next week, actually, we're doing our live stream for the next episode. We're watching Bad Times at the El Royale, which is new to me. I haven't seen it. I'm interested to see what kind of vibe it is. But
I'm so hyped to see it.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think you guys will like it.
I'm so hyped to see it. I
Raza will
like Pitch
definitely
Black.
love it. Bailey, kind of a wild card.
it'll be a medium, I think. We'll see. I will enjoy it overall, I think. It looks like it's well shot. But the main point of that is that we want to take a break from the madness and give you a reason to engage with content intentfully. So if you're looking to explore some new artsy things, like we were just saying at the start of this, engage your brain in a meaningful way and art for art's sake. So, Wine Mom, I got one question for you about Movie Club, and that's it. One single question. Okay? How did it feel to be back in a creative space when you were so opinionated about the film?
It felt like I was in a torture device and fighting for my life. If the truth be
Good,
known.
good
Because
ad, good ad.
I said, I'm not watching stuff I don't want to watch. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of that. And you guys know what that means. A lot of opinions.
I like it, like
So,
nails on a chalkboard. I like that.
oh
I like
boy.
Are you gonna have opinions for this movie?
No. This one I'm okay with. This one I'll probably be okay with. It's just like when it. Let's just say this. Panda knows me extremely well. So
Right.
he knows like what like he can manipulate and trick me into watching things I don't want to watch. So I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time investigating movies so I don't get trolled. Anyways, it's gonna be torture. If you want to see me outside of my control, like that's what it'll be.
Well then, don't. Well, it would be a good. This would be a good case for you to pick the movie
Nah,
then.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out till I feel good.
All right, because I already have a list now. I just went on the list and I said these movies my mom will not like, and I said and then
Narrowed it down.
there's no Shrek, there's no superhero
It's
movies.
just
It's just
I'm very strict about the thing is like okay. The thing that everyone's going to learn very quickly is I am extremely I don't say this lightly. I am extremely mentally ill. Okay? So there are significant thoughts that I don't allow into my brain in
yeah
order for me to survive every day.
yeah.
And like movies include a lot of those things that are thoughts that
Mhm.
I don't allow into my brain.
Okay.
That's the reason why I'm so weird and aggressive about movies.
You're
Also, I
you're the
choose not
opposite
to
of me.
well, I choose not to experience a spectrum of emotions and movies will make me experience that spectrum. So, that's why I'm very weird about what I
Right.
want to
Okay.
watch.
I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. I let the intrusive thoughts win.
No, bitch. No. No.
I like it. I like it.
I
Wow.
take W's all day.
If you wanna ignore your intrusive thoughts, Raza, who can they watch all month? Who's making content all month?
We're doing it every day. We're doing March Madness. We're gonna be watching the NCAA every single day.
Every
Uh,
day?
Yeah, and
every
some.
day,
You guys
Yeah,
are
yeah.
gonna have to listen and look at these idiots every day?
every day. This is why in our calendar it shows our entire schedule. So
Yeah,
check
yeah.
that out. And then
Mm-mm.
weekly, we posted one today. Um, I am Stone in. Are we in chat now? Are we talking to the chat territory?
No, we still have a little bit to go. We didn't even do your tweet yet, bro.
That's what I was about to ask next. Okay, do the tweet of the week, and then I will interject there.
Well, I was trying to promo our March Madness, so either way, that's actually a good teaser. So fuck it. That kind of you already did it. You already did it. Now you made it a tease.
Yeah.
Now they gotta come find out. So,
Yeah.
the tweet of the week, Raza gave us a serious one. I have to read this every week, and I love my life. It is on screen now, and the tweet reads, "Drinking this boba got all these balls in my mouth." It sounds like an LA rapper like lyric. It sounds like something like Drakeo the Ruler would say. Drinking this boba got all these balls in my mouth. All right.
It just
Either way,
rolls in your tongue like the ball in your mouth.
chat flying through with the pauses. Appreciate it. All right. So if everybody, I just mentioned chat. If you're listening to the recorded version of this, you know what we do? We do this live. So you like this content? You want to interact with us a bit more personally? We actually hang out afterwards and vibe out with y'all. So come tune in. Raza, where can they find us? I don't really have anything else to say.
You can find us. What's your home address, Bailey?
1 Bloor Street, West.
One Blower Street. You can find us there.
Idiot.
No. You can find us on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube's, all that good stuff. And we're gonna be making this. We're gonna be making this our career very, very soon. So look out for that in the near future.
Yeah, we're not gonna crash and burn. Don't worry. Don't. This
Yeah.
isn't a documentation of our demise. Don't worry. Wine mom. Yeah, leave him with a gem before we go.
Oh my gosh, I have not done that in so.
Fucking
I don't
do it,
know if I'm
Mom.
capable. Go outside. That's what I'm gonna leave you with. Go outside and get a journal. Write every day. Or don't. It's up to you.
All right, we're throwing the outro on, and we'll be right back for Let's Chat. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you again for watching us badly
Actually,
talk
it's still
about these topics.
You can follow us on Twitch, Marching Into Madness, all one word, no space. On the gram, marching_into_madness, and on Patreon at patreon.com/marchingintomadness. And again on Le Discord at Marching Into Madness.
Join us, and Bailey will pay you 10 whole Canadian dollars.
You can follow Whitey over at gnarly_media on the Insta. You must definitely follow the life of our whole podcast, Wine Mom, at X Wine Mom X, because the year's 2002, and we still have the X in our names. And me, your favorite brown boy, at _r Malik _.
Thank you for the third time. We love you. Drink some milk and be healthy.
Remember, kids, say no to school and yes to
It's like such bad advice. It's like, here we put this well-formulated podcast together with good insight on facts and truth and political points and social issues. Don't go to school, dude.
Oh, God.
Bailey listens to
Motherfuckers
me.
shouldn't be in their school after saying that.
It's like Bailey listens to me say the sentence and he goes, maybe I should say my sentence now.
My mom would just walk in the room and give me berries,
Yeah.
and dates, and chocolate milk. I got the chalky milk.
Our mics are live, squad. About your chalky milk.
Well, I feel like it's irrelevant. They can hear about that. What's the problem?
Pog chat time. I feel you,
Podcast.
boys.
Yes. So like,
They want to know about the chalky milk, fam.
yeah,
Sorry. I'm gonna
like
go to the washroom. I'll be back.
right. Every podcast last year during Ramadan, my fast would open midway through, and my mom would just walk in the room, hand me a bowl of berries, and dates, and some chalky milk, and that's how I would do it. And why mom and Bailey had to witness that almost every Monday. Like it got earlier and earlier though. It was a joke though, because you could see a hand just come out from off screen and hand it to me.
Yeah. That's okay.
But,
though.
I am probably gonna do it this year. Yeah, it was pretty chill last year. It was just annoying working because like I would have coffee while I'm working, but then I couldn't even drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think like as you get older, your body just gets okay with that stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. So I'm just like in the beginning of the Ramadan, the time between when you ate and when you ate again was longer. But then it got shorter.
Yeah.
And shorter and I remember like by the time like the month ended, I could not my stomach shrank. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Couldn't eat as much. It was healthy. I felt like I didn't need to eat
I
as
mean,
much.
it's good for you to do that every once in a while. So
Yeah, yeah. My mom does intermittent fasting, so like around 6 p.m. she stops eating.
good for her.
Yeah, she's she's like, I feel more energized after that. I'm like, oh, that's
Hmm.
I don't know how it works.
Right.
But I've been I've been I may have been scrolling on your Twitter. It's a lot of Mac Miller.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I just don't follow me on Twitter because that's truly where I just live life.
You should,
I
yeah,
say out of pocket shit. I say whatever the fuck I want. I don't care.
yeah,
I mean, quite honest, like in reality though, I
yeah.
kind of just say whatever the fuck I want, anyways. Perfect timing for
Right.
Bailey to come and hear me say that, so that I can get in trouble. So
She's just saying she she talks shit 24/365, takes no
I mean,
holidays.
to be
She
honest
keeps
though,
it 55th.
I'm not really on Twitter that much anymore. Like I am, but like not like I'm mostly I'd be lurking.
Twitter breaks me,
That's
man.
smart though.
I can't. It's something I get. Like I read these articles and I'm like, why does Elon even bother getting in on these convos? And then because I can't handle it. I don't know how you two do it. I get like, I gotta tell them they're stupid.
Because
You
I
know.
don't care, Bailey. It's because I
I
literally do not give a like you can't. My life is in such chaos most of the time. I just can't care about what people are talking about on Twitter.
like my energy comes from telling Top G replied mans that they're fatherless. Right?
Yeah,
That's my whole
I
thing. I'm just
mean,
like
it do be the
you're
truth.
that do be the truth. I'm just like, dude, this sounds like dad wasn't around, so that's why you have to look up for something else. And like I like interacting with all of them,
Hmm.
because it makes me get better at my shit posting. It
Right.
just it's like a mental as exercise. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I do a small fast. I can't do a Ramadan ass fast. Yeah, I'd be my tummy would be killing me, man.
Yeah, I'm like a
Right. Yeah.
72 hours at most.
Oh no, this is for like what? I think 8, 12 or 8 hours.
No, but I mean, you're not really eating when you come off fast. Like you have a little snacky, not a meal.
Uh, like during the day or what are you talking
Okay,
about?
so what? You only fast for 8 hours
Yeah.
and
You
then you
eat
eat a
at
meal.
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, you eat at
Hmm.
you start at sun up and then at sunrise.
Oh, oh, then
Yeah.
I'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically what I do right now, and I just
Yeah.
go days without eating. So,
Just just a fast, bro. That's all you need
Yeah, just do it, man. Just do it.
to do.
No, I used to admire. I
But
used to play with so many football players that would fast. I know I said that before,
well,
but
they
it's like,
have
bro,
to.
it's like you guys are wild. I can't believe you're playing football right now. I'd be falling over.
yeah.
But I think this because I was so I'm we can come back to this, but uh in line with our March Madness, I think with Bailey's wisdom and his help, I think I may do a solo streams on Thursdays, and I think it's 1 a.m. According to some research I checked, that's probably a good time for small streamers to do their shit because
What are you gonna do?
there's
Play video games or?
yeah. So I was playing with one of Bailey's friends, Stoned. I'm not sure if he's in the chat anymore, but uh, Valorant, and I'm gonna try that out and try to get my uh, morals demolished by tryhards. So it'll
Mm,
be fun. It'll be fun, and like I think it's just time that Raza needs to get out of his safety zone. Yeah, yeah. It's good to see the
Degen it up. Degen it up. No, I agree. You're right, though. You're right. We're just the chat's mocking you, but it's a good call. It's a good call.
It's good for the UK and Asian.
The fiends.
What, playing Valorant?
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, because people in America or in Canada are nap time, just sleeping.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's their nap time, and then the hardcore people are like the Stones are up and playing. You know, that's like the real gamers are out at night.
If I wouldn't have no idea. Yeah, I think it's who's on. I would say Val at the moment. Yeah, if it's a riot game. I was playing with Stone on Sunday. He's like, yeah, everything about this game is basically copied from Overwatch. I was like, I can see that.
Yeah,
But
that's. I
I'm
think it's a
I'm
good
excited
idea.
to do it.
I hope you have fun, and I'll make sure we got all the chatbots set up so then you have all the triggers already for you, and you can just be like, oh, here's our. You can hit podcasts. Bah, bah. So that's you're gonna get the casual people coming in and like, hey man, how long you been playing? That's you'll get the regular Twitch interactions through that.
Right. Yeah. And then on Sundays we're doing our F1 league, Wine Mom, so you can join in and see our.
I will not be there. I will
You
not
will be there
Don't
with all
trick
the
people.
hot
Don't trick
drivers.
people into thinking I would even show up to that. Don't mislead people. No.
I don't know, man. I feel like you and
Mark my words. I won't be there.
there are
Unless I'm
very
trolling.
attractive drivers.
I'm not. You tried to show me, and I told you no. Wasn't
Okay.
interested.
Well, Chad is saying instead what you can do is you can take over the shift at 4 a.m. when Raza's done.
I don't think so.
Play
Unless you want to
Stardew
listen to
Valley?
me snore, don't ask me for that.
Okay, sorry, it was Afro. Afro wants to take credit that he encouraged the shift change.
That's wild.
No, but
Too
I'm excited about this. I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, it'll keep us sort of like entertained and like hopefully the SEO will like us.
Yeah, because we'll see the recipes. Because boys, if this works, it might be kind of cool. Because then Bailey does his weird eccentric shit during the day. Even that day, I'll be doing it around 6, so I'll end around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then it will be like, oh, Raza's on in just a few hours. Blah blah blah.
That's what I was thinking. And then Wine Mom can do like a let's talk trash about X and X and X for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm giving you ideas, Wine Mom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Wine
you can just
Mom. What? Go ahead. Say we're
hop in. You can just do is you can hop in and you can watch some of the. You could do T channel topics or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You got it.
Or we could give you you could do a audio-less Animal Crossing stream. We'll just between when we have dead hours in between streams, you just play Animal Crossing and you don't have to say anything. We just leave that on screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you can just hop.
I mean, if we could figure out, if we could
Go.
if we could figure out how to stream my Switch, like I would play Zelda,
I
and I
know
would
how
play
to do
other
that.
fun games that I have on there. Like I would do that.
I already know how to do that already, so I can help you out because like I remember on the podcast I streamed my the Switch, so I can just send you my resources. But again, you can also use the VTubing angle too, which I've been doing some research into that and realized, this works for not me, but for my mom.
I mean, I would love to stream from my Switch. I would love to do that.
You totally can, and you just need a capture card, which I have somewhere in this room, and then you can just plug it into your computer and then send it through that thing, that OBS Ninja thing, and then plop it. I mean, OBS itself, and then plop it there, and then boom.
For just the streaming,
It's-
your computer doesn't need to be that fancy if you can do the game on something else.
Yeah, because it's all the pressure, all the stress is coming off of the Switch and the capture card. You know?
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. It sounds intimidating, but like it took me about a day.
I mean,
less than
because
a
like,
day to figure it out.
in all honesty, like I'm on the Switch, and like I'm
Yeah.
playing games, and I'm actively buying games. Like
Right.
I was playing A Little to the Left recently.
That Beyonce song, that's
Yeah.
A Little to the Left, yeah.
yeah.
Fun.
Don't encourage me, Bailey. That's a corny joke. But what is that game about?
It's a game, but it's like a puzzle sorting game.
Oh, okay.
It's really fun if you're somebody who has like OCD or ADHD. Like it's very fun to be like sorting.
Oh, it's like inventory management. The game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That seems. I feel like it's a niche community, and people would hop on that.
Mhm.
You should. 'cause
People
it's
love
fun.
puzzles. Is it a puzzle game?
It's a short. Yeah, it's puzzly, but it's a short.
Okay.
You're gonna do. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm hungry. I
Ah.
need food.
That's cool. You should also stream like what's that new one that came out on the Switch?
Is it the lamb game?
the
Lamb game?
Oh, Cult
No,
of
like-
Lamb.
Cult
Oh.
of Lamb. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I think you
I
should
have
actually.
that. I'm playing that.
Oh,
I've been
everyone.
playing it.
Yeah, that's a
should
cult
add it
classic.
more.
Yeah.
Everybody's rock hard for that game. You know what else everybody's rock hard for? The Metroid Prime remake one.
I don't know about that, but I know that the new Zelda's soon.
Yeah, it's lit. I'm so hyped.
And I'm
Right.
also thinking about getting that Harry Potter open world. But it's the thing is the games are so expensive, and my ADHD only lets me obsessively play something for like a month, and then I forget
Oh.
it exists. So I don't want to spend $80. Forget about it. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right. Yeah.
That's the bigger point
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I have Game Pass and I don't have to worry about that.
It's why I
until
have
months
Game
later.
Pass and I'm the smart boy. Whatever.
Yeah. You made a. I was gonna recommend Fire Emblem, but then yeah, you're saying full price games, so. I think you would oddly like Fire Emblem. I think you might think it's too tough, and then like the story part. I don't know. It's all just like a Korean drama mixed with strategy game.
I think the problem is that because I've been very limited in gaming systems because I'm poor or was poor for a while. I only would buy systems that I knew had games I really wanted to play. So that's why like I had a PC and I had a Switch, and like my PC's not good anymore for gaming. So that's something, but I have my Switch. So I've been very limited in gaming. So certain styles of games that are predominantly on like PlayStation and Xbox, those kind of
Right.
systems, I don't play them because I'm used to just watching them be played on YouTube. Because that's where like when people ask me about, oh, have you seen like DayZ? Yeah, because I watched it be played. Have you seen like the Resident Evil? I watched it be played before you guys even played it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
What
That's how
about- Has anyone showed you like Persona? Have you seen that game before?
No.
It's like
Fucking
a-
weird, dude. Oh my god.
Because I think she would like that type of. It's a drama. It's like a character drama game, and then it's an RPG like Final Fantasy. So you like spend the day in high school setting up dates and talking to people, and then it's an action game.
I bought the DLC for Resident Evil 8, where you play as his daughter, and that was pretty.
Interesting.
I should have been like, guys, I bought this, but then I forgot we played it on stream.
I just saw. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just saw a meme on Instagram because I just had a little scroll, and somebody tweeted, "I waited too long to eat, and now I'm mean and also crying." A memoir. I relate. I relate. Because I'm getting to that point. Because I'm gonna say pause so I can get a snack.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I think that like if you play a game, it should be like, you know, something that is like multiple genres in once,
Mhm.
and something that you
The
like.
thing is, I like almost all video games, and I'll play almost any style of game. Like I'm pretty chill about it. But if something really doesn't connect for me, it just doesn't connect.
Right. This
Like
is why.
people are always shocked when they hear me say that like I used to play Counter-Strike a lot. And people are always like, "You played that?" I'm like, "Yeah, why does that surprise you?" "Cuz you like Minecraft." Okay.
Whoa.
Like what's your
Whoa.
point?
I know. That's yeah.
A
That's
video game is a
fucking
video
dude.
game.
Go. Okay, this goes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got. Oh, I
Chat,
know.
chat,
This
chat
fucking
is
something wrong.
surprised too.
Oh.
Chat is surprised.
And I played Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I had Call of Duty on my Wii, and I played that shit till the Wii was dead. Okay? I love
Right.
first person shooter games. Like I love that shit. I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike. I did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did two in high school, but you know, I didn't really have a gaming computer. I
Well,
just
to
played
be
on school computer.
well, to be fair, the person I was dating at the time played it. So I played it with them, but I also really enjoyed it. Like
Right.
if I could have
Then,
played it like on my own, like I would have, but
yeah.
I mostly played it with them.
Then low key Stone, I think she would like Valorant then. Okay. Like,
I probably
because it,
would. I probably
yeah.
would. I just don't have the system to play it. So,
Oh yeah. You're still on a Mac. Okay.
yeah. I would rock
One of us.
in those kind of games. Like seriously.
In what? In
Yeah.
CS:GO?
Honestly, like
Which
I
game?
was
What type of
so good.
game?
I was really good at Counter-Strike.
We're too
CS:GO.
old. It's not even. I'm not doubting your skill. We're too old. We ain't. Trust me. You ain't
it's
got
called
the
I
same
mean,
speed.
CS:GO
I
now.
hear you, but what I'm saying, like, if I had a system and I kept playing and I could still play, and if I had access to that kind of game, like, I would rock that shit because I was good at it when I did play.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like.
I enjoyed it.
100%, yeah. And like that's what
Yeah.
like I like.
No,
That's
no,
so
no,
sorry.
no.
I'll say
No,
that's
go, go,
what I
go.
thought Valorant. What, sorry?
Go. I'm sorry.
That's what I thought Valorant was, and then I just played it, and I was like, okay, it's a little easier than Counter Strike because the abilities and whatnot, and it's more like fluid in that way. But I've gone back into Counter Strike in like the past couple months, and it's like not much has changed. It's like just the player base has become more, lack of a better word, insane, and that
Yeah.
makes it harder
Well,
to.
because Counter-Strike is not for you to just like play because you want to play a video game. Counter-Strike is
No.
it's for competitive first-person shooter style gamers. Like it's not a casual game. It's a comp game. Like
God no.
like if you're not
God
playing
no.
to
Yeah.
League, then don't play it.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. But
Not
that's
to
what
make
I
myself
like.
sound like a geek.
Yeah. Well, like you, you're
Yeah,
in
look,
good
you're
company.
on Twitch. You're on Twitch.
That's
I
what I like
know,
about
I know, but I know
Valorant.
everybody in chat right now is they're like, no.
They're talking about monitors.
Mm.
uh, but but that's why I like Valorant because it can be competitive, but it also can be a casual game. Like you don't really have to go balls deep into it. This is why I'm telling Bailey, just fucking do that on Friday. And Stone, you're invited to on Friday.
Hey,
What? Oh,
I
like
need
to
to,
play Valo or
hold
do
on.
what?
1 second. I'm gonna BRB because I need to. So I'm muting myself.
Okay.
Okay, go continue.
We're going to just 9:30. I was gonna say. Sorry. Okay, keep going, Raza. Valo
that's fine.
Friday. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because I still want to be able to do what we want too. You know, I'm okay to play the game, play the hustle, but I also still want to make sure.
Casually.
Okay.
Just
okay.
like
Okay.
not like comp, not like how they
Okay.
do it for Gundam. Because like Stone showed me 2 game modes that are so fun to play, and they're both casual. Like you just have a good time playing it. You can
Okay.
just, I wasn't really I guess I was popping out, but it was so fun. Like what's that? They have a game mode, like gun game. Like I don't know how COD they have
Okay, yeah.
the gun game. At the last one was a knife, and I couldn't do it because one of the things I could only go up to the grenade thing. I couldn't hit anybody. At the end of
Yeah.
the match, like still, I actually got somebody. I got one kill, and I see his thing. He's like 13-0. I'm just like 1-27. So
Yeah.
like, it's, but that to me isn't like that doesn't matter because like I'm learning how the game works, and like because you and I have Game Pass, a lot of the heroes are already like kind of unlocked.
All right. Okay.
So-
I'll be positive. All
And-
right. Let's do it on Friday.
And they have this mayhem one. It's fun to play. Yeah, it's like it's I thought it would have been different, but it's just like okay. Fucking, it's just Overwatch, but guns, or Overwatch, but Counter Strike, essentially.
Yeah, I see that for sure. I definitely see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We got it, boys. I
Okay,
got a
what?
W in the chat going. Can I get a W train in the chat going? But
There you
yeah,
go.
but like this won't stray from what we're doing because like I think next week we'll probably play something else. But like this is something that I don't know we can.
It will be good to have in the pocket, and it will be good so that we can socialize.
Wait, what?
To play Valorant, because every streamer plays
Oh.
Valorant. So then once we start making friends, it will be good to know what we're doing.
Yeah, and then
You'll like
Rust.
Valorant, Bailey. So
I know I
you're
will.
complaining.
I don't know why I'm so hesitant about it. I don't even have a good explanation.
Yeah, and
Dramatic.
like if we dare get, because I know Stone is very chill when he plays. We didn't even touch the competitive thing because again I'm 3 now, and he started a fresh account where like it doesn't matter, but it's always like, yeah, sure you have one life, but it's like that makes you play better, you know. Whereas in Overwatch and Gundam, you're just running into the fucking fray, and it is what it is.
Yeah, just constant throw yourself. Yeah, I feel you.
I just really wish I could play Minecraft. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I would like to play that too now, but I guess we can't do until we're
Not until I
edged.
have a proper.
That too.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the Minecraft.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's we don't want to. I don't have to go full balls deep, but I want to approach it with a little bit of strategy because we got a good shtick because we had never played it, so we can dive in and make a series out of it. And I know
Maybe
Chatter
just do
hasn't,
both
and
of them.
we could make a
What about
whole like
GTA
newbie
roleplay?
series, you know?
Did you say chatter?
Chatter, yeah,
GTA. Oh shit.
yeah,
You
and
want to play?
yeah, and hold on, I appreciate you, Afro. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. That would be fire if we got 10 people in and do the customs. But also, yeah, I was talking with him, and he's like, oh yeah, I haven't played Minecraft either. So when you jump in on that, let me know. I'll hop on the train.
True.
And then he can help bring in people. It's like I was with some Minecraft player at the bar with him. Someone who's on the Yogs cast, adjacent to it. You know, they have a bajillion people signed to them now, though.
Yeah.
Shit. If I get signed by a team, I'm out the door. I'm gone. I'm fucking
Yeah.
gone.
Wow,
You
you
won't
just
hear from me
abandoned me like
ever
that?
again.
You
That's
would
not
do
why-
that, Raza? Wow.
If you can give me $50,000, I would grant. I would.
Wow. Okay. Good to
That's
know.
how much I put.
We
on
got to do the
Bailey's
both
face.
thing. We agreed to beat Jesus and Marrow.
No, let him go.
So he goes on the
No,
team,
no.
and then he comes here and does the pod or whatever.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So he
No,
does
no,
his
no.
gaming
No, no,
for
no.
whatever.
If he wants to leave, he leaves.
I want $50,000 if we're gonna do that, Bailey.
And I want.
Oh,
a new pair of
okay.
boots.
I'm gonna
But you
extort
don't say
me.
what you want.
Yeah. I'm gonna need 50K in 2 weeks, or else I'm going to Team Moist Esports.
Or I'm going to 1,000 Thieves.
Why did you have
with
to
a
say
thong.
that?
What? That's the team. That's one of the
gross.
esports teams.
You're
Moist?
gross.
Yeah.
Is it a team?
Yeah, that's homie's Charlie's. That's Charlie's team.
Why is it the word moist?
Because that's his
Moist
whole
Critical.
weird brand, yeah.
Oh, moist critical. I thought you were talking about one of your.
Yeah, because Bailey only just kind of says half of things.
Ludwig bought into his thing, and he has a small branch, but he bought part ownership of Moist Esports, and then they've both basically agreed that it's like they're trying to do it as a business venture. That the idea
Okay.
is like only outside entities own all of these esports teams, so their sport is dependent on outside sponsors to even survive. So their idea is like by making a creator funded and run team, then you can start to create the basis of like an actual long-term sport and economy around it.
Huh.
You know what's interesting about Moist Critical? I think he's like one of the few least problematic creators in that realm.
Moist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's I was thinking about it. I didn't want to derail while we're on the show, but because all those topics we were saying of like people who were always this, how do they learn? It was like he's either got a dickload of skeletons in the closet or somehow he humbled himself through the process.
He seems like because like I don't sub to the channel, but I watch some stuff and like his mindset and his values align a lot with mine. He chirps the people that I chirp. Like, huh? Why do people think you're edgy? I don't get the edginess, but he's just like, I'm most
It's 'cause
critical.
he's-
And
It's just how he delivers. But
Yeah.
I've always really liked Moist Critical, like from the first time I saw him. But I only ever called him Penguins, because that's what his thing is. And then
Yeah.
somebody was like, "Oh, that's Moist. Oh, that's Charlie," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I didn't know that. I
Right.
really like him, but I'll say like I'll pretty much watch anything, even if I don't care about what he's talking about, just because his
Mhm.
voice is so pleasing.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
It's weird, but
You get used to it.
But I do I like him, and he says good stuff. But
Whenever
sometimes I'm like, this is good stuff just because your voice is pretty, you know?
Yeah. Whenever he talks about
Yeah.
like actual business stuff, I really like his opinion. Like whenever he's talking about YouTube guidelines or this or start the esports stuff and how to set up the this and that, that's when I was like, oh, he actually sits there and fucking puts some serious thought into this.
Yeah.
And his whole crypto thing, the whole crypto, the way he went after that was kind of like it was delivered in a very nice way. It was like, okay, fucking clearly he's on the side of like, you know,
Well,
the better people on the internet.
I just like how
Mhm.
like he comes out, he drops his like 2 minute long video and then carries on. It's not like he sits there and like has a whole big song and dance. He's just like, here's my opinion and goodbye.
You see, okay, I was watching. Here I am editing our stuff, and then I see his things, and they're like, it's just raw
Minimal
footage.
effort.
Minimal effort. But here I am using After Effects, using
But-
all of these weird things to get like a minimum of 10 views. Here he's just like, yeah, I'll just cut certain things. I get 4 million views. What you gonna do about that?
Well, that's the thing. It's but the thing is like his content is just it's blunt, it's to the point, it's genuine, and then that's it. Like there you can't put anything around it. Like it just his opinion stands alone well, which is weird
Right.
because again, like what Bailey was saying, he is seen as like a problematic guy, but I don't see the problematic. But it's only because of
You
who
agree
he's
with him?
friends with. No, it's only because
Oh.
of who he's friends with. Because he's
Okay.
friends with like the Cold One guys, I believe. He's friends with KSI, I think. Friends with he's friends with hold on, let it come to me.
H3, I think.
He's
right?
friends with H3, yeah. He's also the Minecraft guys, like Dream and all of them. He's friends with
Yeah.
he's friends with a lot of people who are
Mhm, mhm.
controversial, but he's
Yeah.
always just like on like a clear path. Because like
Yeah.
also he's friends with all those science guys, like William Osman.
Yeah.
Oh, if Panda's in the chat, please
He
name
runs.
the other guy with the bird thing. I made a thing. I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite guy. Yeah, I made
love
a
Made
thing.
But the thing is, like, Charlie
He's
appears in random videos all the time because he's friends
'cause
with
he's-
everybody. But I
he's
think
got-
that's how he's successful.
He owns a management agency and he manages the majority of the people that you just named.
Yeah, but also I think he's genuinely friends with outside of that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
but he
my
also has
thing, though,
direct
'cause
business
he's
interests
friends
too.
with. Yeah, but also like some of those guys are kind of controversial. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you don't like the cold ones, guys, but like, you know,
They're the
he's
cold-
friends with all these characters, right? And like
Mhm.
it works because he can stay true to his opinion, but also he is friends with those guys. Because here's the thing, like as we talked about before, I love the cold one guys, but I'm fully aware that they're like extremely problematic people and like their humor is not for everyone, but I can appreciate their content and enjoy it while also having a very different opinion from them.
Right. Right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to make that separation, but I'm also able to see like where they originally came from, and it's just like it's a different era of the internet because that's another thing that's happening a lot now.
Yeah,
too,
but
is, like
if the-
different
what-
eras of the internet.
how many people are gonna give that excuse to? You know,
I don't
look at
care
who.
though, Bailey. I don't care. I liked that old era of the internet for kids, and like it was the most outrageous bullshit that you could get away with on the internet, and I liked it.
Yeah, but now that's just being an old person. Now that's why the guy in the '80s is asking why I can't see his races.
like it.
Why aren't the Jeffersons
I like it.
still on TV? You
Let
know,
me get old, Bailey.
Times change, media changes.
Yeah, but you can
Interesting.
appreciate what that was for the time that it was, but also be like, yeah, I understand that can't exist in the scope of the internet now, and I shouldn't like encourage that content, but I can appreciate it for what it was at the time that it was.
I respect that. I respect that. I do respect that. I do respect that. Where's my
Also,
argument?
I think I might actually look a little bit more problematic than you understand.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure.
I'm just good. I'm just well behaved.
I keep tabs on all the departments of problemacy on the interwebs, so I know the scales that still exist.
I just think
I like that
if
content.
we
Oh.
follow the rules of our forefathers, so Ludwig, Proud, iDubbbz,
Love. Sorry.
Keemstar, we will be good to go.
Yeah, Keemstar. Yeah,
Yeah, but iDubbbz is so different though.
iDubbbz is great. I like him.
His content is all over the place, and he really knows what he's doing. He's kind of like Charlie in a him and
Yeah,
Charlie are
but he's a
friends
little
as
bit
well,
more controversial.
but he's a
than
little bit more out
Charlie.
there.
Yeah,
But
'cause, like,
with Ian though, like he knows what he's doing, and he's doing it purposely, and he's also hoping that you're stupid enough to think that he's serious, which is why I really like his content because he's like,
right, yeah.
if you're an idiot, this content is not for you. If you're a
Right,
little bit
yeah.
more intelligent to realize what a dry joke is, then this is for you.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's some Rick and Morty shit, bro.
I like it.
Oh, you gotta be smart enough to find it funny.
I think so though. If you can separate your emotions from joke, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
he has that
guarantee
quite a bit.
I guarantee right now that there is probably a joke that you've heard that you're like, that's not nice, but you're like, that's funny. You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
when I watched his documentary with Sam Hyde, I realized that like
Let's not
okay,
talk
he's-
about that.
I know, but like I realized that like okay, at least Ian has a line, right? He
Yeah,
has that line that
Sam's coming
he
back, by the
quotes.
way.
From
He's coming
Wait.
back.
from what?
What do you mean? Where's he gone?
Well, like he's apparently making another show, like the first thing. I don't know.
He's just always been around. He's got a huge following on all his
I
platforms.
know he has, but he's been more low key. But
It's another one of those right wing things. Once you're in those bubbles, bro, they'll still watch Sam Hyde. They'll just share his shit around.
He was on that. He had a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
called
yeah.
the song, and then that's how he became more. He came
Well,
back.
that's what I mean.
Republican.
Like it's becoming more of a thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot more of his content and like his stuff being recommended to me in the last little while.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. See,
So the last
yeah, on Twitter, I'm noticing that too. Yeah.
Like
I
within
got
the
one.
last like weeks.
I
What?
got one last. I want on one last button. I want to poke on you. I want to go for 9:30, but I got one last since you haven't been here. What's your thoughts on Ethan now in his fucking collapse into I don't even know unresponsibility? What's your thoughts?
In
What
what
happened?
degree? In what specifically are you talking about?
He's been
There's
seeming like
few
he's on such a spiral, man. Just everything downwards, like misaccusations, his breakup, his this, his he
His
doesn't look
breakup.
healthy, bro. Didn't they break up?
Him and Ela?
Yeah.
No, they're literally doing in vitro
I thought
fertilization right now.
I thought
They're
they
having
got
a third
divorced.
child.
Then what happened? He cheated on her, or what's? I don't even know. I
No.
got lost. I got sick of how unresponsible he is. So
Um, I know Ethan's not a popular person to like, but I respect his career and I respect where he like what he did. I understand he has some, but I think the internet is really not that terrible. But I also think
hmm
Ethan is one of those people that existed in that bracket of YouTube, and it's like he does make mistakes that are reminiscent of the past. But again, like I that's me making excuses because if I found Ethan in a different way, I probably would have been like, "Oh, I don't like him."
Mhm.
But
I I think objectively taking my shit away, my critique would be he just needs to, for his cancelization, just stay away from politics. Otherwise, I think he can get away with his humor. But
I
like
mean,
I
if
he
think
if
his big
keeps.
Sam
mistake,
Harris,
I think his big mistake recently was involving himself in that famous streamer's wife or girlfriend. I think that was his mistake. He should have ignored that and kept out of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It just seems like whenever he tries to get involved in like a political issue, that's when he missteps. He says something about the Jews or the this and the that. It's like, okay, man,
He
like
is Jewish.
I know, but it's the
Anyway,
era.
listen. The thing is, Ethan can't take anything seriously, and he spends too much time making fun of himself as well as everything. Like he just doesn't take shit that serious. So yeah, you're right. He's not always the best person to talk to about certain things. But again, this also comes down to like the people who comment on Ethan. Like I know there was some drama between him and Phil, and it's like Phil made a comment about it and like did a whole spiel. I got like 3 minutes into the spiel and I was like, Phil, why are you still doing this? Why are you still entertaining this? Why are you even having any comments about it? Like, why are you still listening to anything with that has to do with Ethan? Like, why are you even bringing him up? And
yeah,
it's like, I
hmm
just like it's. I don't even know what to say. Like,
but
again, it's like at this point, if you are not intelligent enough, I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. I don't know because I'm gonna get in trouble for it. If you're not intelligent enough to separate the jokes from the reality, like it's just not the content's just not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but
just not
I
for you.
think that's just so hot colesy to say. Because then what happens if you can't separate a joke from a reality in a different scenario? Then are you
I'm
just too
sure there'll
dumb?
be. I'm sure there'll be a time when that happens. But again, like it's all then I'm not intelligent for that style of content. I guess. But
right,
I'm just saying, like, when it comes to somebody like Ethan, and it's not even really about intelligence when it comes to Ethan. Like, it's I shouldn't say because that's what I mean. Like, I shouldn't say in what I
Yeah.
mean, but it's like if you're not in a place in your life where you're comfortable enough to like laugh at a really shitty joke or not laugh at it and like move on, then like just that's just not the content for you. Like that's kind of how I feel about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Cause Ethan's
'Cause it isn't
not
for everybody.
fucking but Ethan's not fucking terrible. Like I'm sorry, he's not I don't care what people think. Ethan
Mhm,
is not fucking terrible. He's just
mhm,
makes mistakes, but
right.
like
No, I.
he goes after people like it's valuable. Like we're talking about his controversies. Nobody's talking about the fact that he called a guy out who was on TikTok telling everybody he had Tourette's and that he had the cure for an incurable disease or incurable disorder. This guy's like, I can cure Tourette's. Ethan has fucking Tourette's, has lived with it his whole life. He's like, cannot just cure Tourette's, and like called the guy out. And I've heard nobody talking about that. That has been completely under the rug. This guy is literally selling on TikTok to people with Tourette's, which is a very terrible thing to have to live with. And like nobody's talking about that. But we'll talk about the fact that Ethan like made a shitty joke that upset a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I guess, but he's also doing way worse than that and like falsely sending mobs at people and like outing the wrong
yeah, but
people.
people do
and,
the same.
like,
But people do the same thing to him. Like,
I
yes,
know,
he's
but
immature in that sense that he reacts and does those things. Like, the thing is, I don't disagree with Bailey,
Hmm.
but like, there are other aspects of this person that is not terrible. And people like that's what the internet does.
That's
Everybody
fair.
on the internet sends out mobs, Bailey. They all fucking do it. Even the ones that you're
that
like,
doesn't
oh, they're
mean you should
justified in
though.
it. Yeah, but even if you look at someone justified in sending out their mob, they're you're still sending out a mob.
So I don't
like, you're not
support
justified.
support creators who send out mobs.
I agree with you. I don't think it's good either. But that's what internet people, because that's how they protect their image, or that's how they, poke a bear, or whatever the fuck it is that they feel like they need to do.
I guess.
Because I'll tell you right now, if I ever Universal, I do not want mobs being sent out in my defense. Just let me deal with it, okay? Just
that's
leave
like
it alone, okay?
it makes things worse. Like they're adding
Right.
more
You're not my
fees.
mom, okay? You're not my mom. You don't need to protect me. Like, if I'm stupid enough to make a mistake, like that's learn from, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you should be able to deal with these things without having your audience become attack dogs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but to answer your question, Bailey, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Ethan's my #1 YouTuber, and I got his back, and he's my best friend. But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna sit here and dog him completely. Like, I can be impartial and be like, okay, like some of the stuff he does is good, and some of the stuff he does is fucking stupid. But that's also comes from, again, this is something that we literally talked about earlier on the podcast, is like when you grow up on social media, the time you become famous is kind of, it stunts your growth. Like your emotional maturity and intelligence is just not there, and it's your responsibility to develop that. It's your responsibility to work on that and improve yourself. But if you don't, then whatever. But I'm also not going to sit here and say because he's a little bit emotionally immature that he hasn't brought value to the platform.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
I don't 100%, like, I know a lot of people love Phil. I don't. I think that there's a lot of fucking faults in Phil that nobody talks about and nobody really cares about, but we all go to Phil for our news. It's the truth. We all do. We all think that he's the best news reporter. Maybe you don't, Bailey, but a lot of people do.
The Karens do. The white
A lot
people
of people
do.
do.
He's the
A
white
lot of
people
people do.
news.
But still, my point is, a lot of people see Phil as like a chaotic good, whereas Ethan is like a chaotic bad. But what about them is different? What? Because Ethan calls Phil fat, so Ethan's the bad guy. But all the mean things that Phil has said about Ethan doesn't matter.
I feel like it's also how we perceive them. You know,
Right.
somebody may think Phil's bad and Ethan's good, and the opposite. So, yeah, and that's why there's many of these individuals. We don't have to stick with such and such.
I know, but those are just the ones that I'm talking about specifically.
The Church of Phil and the Church of Ethan. Who would be their leaders?
Whichever one is Scientology first, or gets Scientology first.
But I mean,
Ethan's
it's like,
would.
I mean, you could also talk about Keem and Phil going after each other for many years, and Keem going after Ethan, and like we could talk about that stuff. Like, sure, Keem is a nightmare, shouldn't exist on the internet, but at the same time, I cannot believe I'm gonna say this, because y'all, if you guys have been here long enough, listen, if you've been here long enough, y'all know I can't stand the man, but he he went after a YouTuber that did some pretty shit stuff and really like exposed that guy and like gave that guy a platform to screw himself over, and it was pretty good time on the internet that brief month that Keem was reporting on something valuable. It's like still like sometimes they do. It's like it's like when somebody asks me about the top G, right? And and people are like, oh well, sometimes he says a good thing about this, or sometimes he's about that. My response is always, if somebody talks enough for long enough, eventually they're going to say something that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like it's going to happen if you just talk so much. So that's kind of how I feel about a lot of YouTubers. Some points are good, some points are bad. Some things are good, some things are bad.
Yeah, clock is right twice a day. A broken clock. A broken clock.
That's it.
Broken clock is right twice a day. No, I agree, and it's very cyclical in many ways. That's the tough part of the conversation. It's the same as the cycle of violence, you know. Well, this guy did that, and then they did this, and then they did that. It's just in commentary format on YouTube instead.
Yeah.
But with that, I don't know. Thank you for your summary. I appreciate you, Wine Mom. It's been lovely having you back.
For now, until I say something stupid.
Or get called to fight crime again by Robin.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. No more crime fighting. I like this. All right. So, if you weren't here earlier, we're doing March Madness, Stoned. We're going to be doing content every single day this month. I'm sure Raza told you that now that I think about it. I got content. I'm posting a TikTok right after this. Tomorrow I'm on doing an antique roadshow. Wednesday I gotta sort through all my hard drives are fucked, and I want to sort through all of my like good photos so I can post them. So I'm gonna look through all of the photos I've ever done and like all of these old archives and shit because I gotta be a sortie boy for otherwise my computer's gonna blow up very soon. No, not good, not good. Thursday night, Ross is playing some video games. He's gonna play Valorant. Tune in, watch Valo time with Razzie. And
I'll maybe Sloan can join in too, so I don't feel like I'm bored.
And then Friday, we're going to release the edited version of this podcast as well as play video games at night. And then Saturday, I'm doing a cooking stream. First test of a cooking stream. So it'll be less dramatic. I'll just be making stuff. But the next ones will have like themes and shit, ideally.
You'd be like, I'll make pizza and like burgers.
If it works, if the ideas work, then after March Madness, the shtick will be how to cook on a budget. So I'll throw together I'll have like a can of this and a thing of that and a thing of this, and I'll make something cheap but good.
Okay.
That will be the shtick for after. Right now, I don't know. I'll figure it out, but I want to help teach, but also like have fun because then it'll be funny. It's my broke ass kitchen. The shit looks like ass, but
you said broke.
Ooh. And then we're watching the F1 race on Sunday. If you like cars, you like them turning around the track a lot? I do. I like seeing people turn right 8 times at 300 kilometers an hour. It's very fun to watch.
I like making lefts, and then you like making alt-rights.
Yeah. Bada bing. All right.
Boom.
I rambled away, so we hit the 3-hour mark. Do you have anything else to say, Raza?
No, I'm good. Just like and subscribe. And go on to TikToks, YouTube, and Spotify's, Instagrams, and Twitches, and and hopefully Kick.
Anything to say, Wine Mom?
See you next time.
All right.